researchers are able to distinguish individual turtles to learn more about growth, reproduction, and migration.
We have our tails coming in, we have our tails going out. Because they're receiving tags back from all over the place, from parts of the Bahamas, Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic, as far as Mexico, Honduras. They receive tags back that will tag here in Inagua at the Union Creek.
Union Creek represents a critical link in the turtle lifespan, not only here in the Bahamas, but as well as in other parts of the Caribbean.
The success of this turtle study is due in large part to the health of the mangrove creek habitat. The mangrove wetlands of the Bahamas have long been known as important nursery systems for the turtles and other species of sea life. Here, among the roots, young animals find shelter from predators, and there's an abundance of nutrients present. Without them, our turtle populations and our fisheries would collapse. The mangroves of Union Creek are so healthy and well protected, there are places where they've grown into towering forests. Here we have a model of wetland protection. In this world of overdevelopment, where wetlands are often irrevocably altered and destroyed, Union Creek is a rare and special place.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, from Studio A. It all starts right now.
It's 242 Day, the day we show up and show out, repping not just our national pride, but our spirit as well. Today is February 24th, and you're watching What's Trending. I'm Jiminita Swain, and we're all about celebrating, spotlighting, and hyping up the 242. On today's show, we're proving that the 242 pride looks best outdoors. We join Kalik at 700 Wines and Spirits on JFK for a down-home block party done the Kalik way. It's the spot to be. Plus, from home soil to LA walls, Bahamian talent is having a major moment. This new body of work explores identity, memory, and the spaces that shape us, stepping into moments of being. And finally, we've got a viral chef in studio, and he is turning up the heat with a dish that's as bold, bright, and flavorful as our flag. Trust us, you'll want to see this dish. Keep it locked right here. More What's Trending is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Brett Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas. When it comes to delivery, we've got you covered. For our Family Island customers, we offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. And for our Nassau customers, island-wide delivery is just $5, no matter how much or how little you may order. Shop online today at cbsbahamas.com.
The celebration doesn't stop here. Down at 700 Wines and Spirits on JFK, Calic's 242 party is getting started with music, live performances, and some true Bahamian energy. We've got our West Calix Forbes at the party. West, tell us, what can people expect if they're headed your way?
Hey, Jaminita, people can expect big energy, big entertainment, and a lot of collect. But to tell us more on what to expect is Stephen. Stephen, what can people expect from us today?
Oh, well, happy 242 Day, you know. We're so happy to support this initiative by the Independence Secretariat. 242 Day for us means we get to celebrate who we are as a people. We have excellence in the NBA, excellence in Major League Baseball, but more importantly, that we have excellence right here in the Bahamas. If you look at a bottle of Collect, you will see our awards for being a perfect brew bear. And so we want to come and celebrate with our fellow Bahamians the quality, the awesomeness of a nice cold Collect. Yeah, it's a bit chilly, but hey, all of us are going to get together today. We're going to listen to some good music from DJ Pressure, one of our top Bahamian artists right now, Johnny Cake. And we're just going to really experience what 242 to the world really means. So come on down. We're here at the JFK store we're here at the 700 Wines and Spirits store on JFK Drive. So come on out, have a good time with us, drink some Collect in a responsible way, and have some fun.
Definitely. Collect has always intertwined itself into Bahamian culture when it comes to Bahamian artists and stuff like that. Why do you guys continue doing it? What pleasure does it bring you guys?
Well, we call ourselves the Bear of the Bahamas. So you cannot call yourself the Bear of the Bahamas if you're not intertwined in every single aspect of Bahamian culture. And that's what we've been doing. We're at Rake and Scrape events. We're at regattas. We're at homecomings. We're at every single event or festival you can think about. So to be the Bear of the Bahamas, you have to be intertwined. And that's what we want to do. We want to showcase what it is to be responsible, what it is to be a good brew, and just have a good time.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so I know some of the promotions y'all got coming up, but the Bahamian people at home want to know. So tell them what I know. Tell them what I know.
Okay, so today is 242 Day. And to celebrate 242 Day nationwide at every single 700 Wines and Spirits from Grand Bahama to Inagua, you can get a cold Collect, a 16-ounce can Collect. If you buy 2 for $4, so you can get 2 ice cold Collect for $4. Now, we usually don't do these kind of deals. We only do it on special occasions, and today is one of those special occasions. So go to any 700 Wines and Spirits store near you, get your 2 Collect for $4.
I love that. I love that. So we're out here on JFK at 700 Wines and Spirits. We're enjoying it. We're feeling the 242 rhythm. We're feeling everything Bahamian. Back to you, Jimmy.
Well, thanks, Wes. The only thing missing from that block party are you and I. You and I, we need to be there. But there is so much more to come. Stay with us.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili, garlic and ginger, got many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you. Those pepper wings, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
So many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper wings.
Isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? You haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
What's trending in business? Who's making major money moves? And how's it shaping your future? This is Economics, your front row seat to the biggest stories in business, innovation, and finance. Powered by the Sand Dollar, the digital currency of the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It's fast, secure, Bahamian. We're breaking down the numbers, the news, and what it means to you. Tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the trends, the insights, and the stories that matter. Get informed, get inspired, get in the mix with Economics. This week on Culture in Color, we're exploring art that connects memory, identity, and place.
Culture in Color, presented by Dungaluk Studios Art Gallery.
Bahamian-born visual artist Anina Major invites us into a world with her latest exhibition, Moments of Being, now on view at the Shoshana Wayne Gallery. Through craft and nostalgia, she transforms personal and cultural experiences into powerful tactile works that stay with you long after you leave the room. Today, we dive into how memory becomes material and how place shapes identity in her art. Welcome to What's Trending, Anina.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you here with us. So your work often explores self and place. Can you share how your Bahamian roots and your experiences living in different places have shaped the themes in Moments of Being?
Well, I think the most prominent one that shapes it is growing up in the Bahamas, and leaving it as an adult and living elsewhere. I think those experiences is the most prominent one, the one that I look back to the most, and the largest influence of the work. I think about the times I spent with my grandmother in the straw market, running around as a little girl, the lessons she taught me about like plaiting or making objects of my own. And that is something that I carry with me no matter where I go. And I think, so that is like the basis of the work.
Now, there's a strong sense of nostalgia in your work. How do you balance memory, identity, and cultural heritage in your creative process?
Well, a lot of visits home. A lot of visits home goes a long way. Reconnecting with all of the things that I feel are truly Bahamian, all of the things that make me the person that I am, the resourcefulness, the resilience, that we as Bahamians have, the creativity that we have, the vibrancy that we have as far as just how we live life. And I think those are the things that I carry forth on no matter where I am. And for me, being able to exude those through my art in like these gestures that I learned as a child, it's just the best way of being. It's like the ultimate moment of being, I guess.
And Moments of Being invites viewers into very intimate spaces. Can you talk about the concept behind the exhibition and what you hope audiences take away from it?
Well, this is my second show with Shoshana Wayne, and the first one was titled Inheritance, and it was more of an introduction to this work. It was an introduction to the concept of making that comes from, I would say, like my grandmother, the group of women who, plaid and participate in the straw industry. The idea that something that you grow in the ground is harvested and used to facilitate a livelihood, a kind of independence and agency that may not necessarily be granted to you at birth. And so I think those underlying themes are the ones that I want to carry forward when I'm abroad, and the ones that I want to influence others to consider these kind of non-tangible lessons we learn as kids. So Inheritance was the first show. It was an introduction to the language in which I was going to talk about these things, and that was through plaiting, and how, you know, the exercise of plaiting contributed to my understanding as myself as an artist. And Moments of Being is a continuation of that. It's talking about how that became a language and how those gestures continue to permeate and how they manifest into sculpture and, in some cases, performance.
That's definitely very powerful. And obviously, as you said, do you see this work as something that is connective, seeing that you do use the sculptures and the straw in it as you focus on the memory and identity in these varying cultural landscapes?
Yes, of course. I mean, clay in itself is such a beautiful material that allows you to freeze moments in time. So my ability to recreate the act of plaiting says something about permanence, says something about fragility. It says something about the archival nature, this forever presence that sometimes can seem very ephemeral. Like, you know, it can be fleeting, a photo at times, but something that's sculptural is, it kind of stays with you. It stays with the earth. It stays in the ground. And I feel like through working through sculpture in this way, there's an opportunity for things to have a foundation, to remain like these reminders of the backbone of our society. So it's very, very like metaphorical, the way that I'm working.
So what's next for you creatively? And are there any upcoming projects or themes that you're excited to explore?
Yes, I am most excited about my first institutional solo, which will be at the Perez Art Museum in Miami. It is an opportunity for everyone in the Bahamas to hop on a plane and come and see it and be home by dinner if you must. But that will be happening in October. And I'm excited to be able to connect with not only those at home, but the Bahamian community that left home and is settled in Miami and the Florida area. So I'm most excited about that. And I can't wait to enjoy that space and that work with all of the people who I know it will resonate with deeply.
Well, I will say congratulations in advance. That sounds very, very exciting. So, Anina, your work reminds us that art can be a bridge between memory, culture, and identity, and a way to hold on to moments that define who we are. So, Moments of Being will be shown at the Shoshana Wayne Gallery in Los Angeles through March 21st, 2026. So, Anina, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you.
Well, you're watching What's Trending. Stay with us.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Eleuthero, we've helped 122 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $3 million in approved funding, the SPDC is strengthening Eleuthero's economy by investing in its leading sectors: tourism, food and beverage, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SPDC, Bahamas.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
What's trending in business? Who's making major money moves, and how's it shaping your future? This is Economics, your front row seat to the biggest stories in business, innovation, and finance. Powered by the Sand Dollar, the digital currency of the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It's fast, secure, Bahamian. We're breaking down the numbers, the news, and what it means to you. Tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the trends, the insights, and the stories that matter. Get informed, get inspired, get in the mix with Economics.
We're heading back to Wes on the ground at 700 Wines and Spirits, where 242 Pride is in full swing. Wes, what's the energy like where you're at?
Hey again, Jiminita. We're still setting up out here, but trust me, once Johnny Cake reform, the crowd is going to go crazy. We've already told the public about the big energy, the big can energy. So now Kalik is about to tell us about an upcoming event that's going to happen on Saturday. Ms. Stubbs, tell us some more.
So we are so excited to bring to you once again Victory Fest this coming Saturday, but we're doing it here at the Bear Fest grounds, JFK. You know anything about Bear Fest, you know that this is definitely the place to be. 8 p.m. on Saturday. It's going to be a Victory Fest for the Boxing Day and New Year's Day Junk Canoe winners. That is the One Family Junk Canoe group. And so we invite all Junk Canoe enthusiasts to come on out and celebrate with us.
I love that. I feel as if there are still some people that aren't convinced. Tell them what they will miss out on if they don't make it out here.
Listen, come for the Junk Canoe, stay for the performances. We definitely have performances by the Essence Band, Shine 242, KB's performing, Julian Believe, DJ Tank will be there, so you have a whole array of Bahamian royalty. Nothing but the best in Bahamian culture this coming Saturday right here at the JFK ground.
I love that. I love that. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the public? Because I'm sure you already convinced them to come out.
Doors open at 8. Performances start at 9 p.m. sharp. You definitely want to come. Definitely bring a friend. This is the place to be.
I love that. I love that. The weekend has already started over here at 700 Wines and Spirit on JFK Road. Back to you, Jiminita.
Well, thanks so much, Wes. The block party is about to come alive. Don't just watch. Go to celebrate 242 Day at 700 Wines and Spirits on JFK. Of course, they will be there until 8 p.m. So back here in the studio, we have one chef who is all about Bahamian pride. Chef Mark Grant is here, and he's about to put his love for country to test. Welcome back to What's Trending, Chef Mark.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, it's 242 Day. You know, it's a big celebration.
Yes,
are you ready?
I am. Always.
So we know that you are the chef that specializes in Bahamian cuisine, often with a twist. We know that you would be the perfect person to talk about elevating our local flavors and, of course, what's trending. So tell us, why is it so important for you to keep Bahamian cuisine on the map while still pushing the boundaries and thinking outside of the box?
Well, for me, it's an opportunity to embrace our history. Our ancestors, they took simple ingredients and made it into dishes that are bold and flavorful. And so for me, pushing the boundaries is a way to even get the younger generation to, you know, not think of what grandma used to do as boring, but of course, and it's not to abandon history, but of course, elevate it and improve and build on it.
That makes a lot of sense. So what do you enjoy most about being Bahamian?
At least for me, it's a matter of being able to really express myself. And Bahamians, we are a colorful set of people.
We definitely are. Very colorful.
Yes, and so, you know, for me, with the flavors in our Bahamian cuisine and the different textures and so forth, it pretty much allows me to, be creative.
I like that, I like that. So what's been one of your most viral or trending recipes, and what was the reaction like? Tell us.
Well, I've had quite a few. And of course, there are always, you know, mixed reviews. Some persons will be, well, if Chef Mark made it, I trust it. But other persons be like, well, like I say, to the bathroom, this and that. But for me, I try to make it make sense. In other words, whereas although it might sound unique or awkward, or it's a play on words, for example, as we have here today, Kong salad cheesecake, you'd be like, what? And so I just didn't take a New York style cheesecake and put Kong salad on the top. I kind of think it through, make it make sense. And so one of the items would have been the Kong salad cheesecake. I would have done crab and dough, but I infused the dough with guava. That was another one. I did a crab and rice cheesecake, and so it's bringing, you know, awareness to it.
You sound like you a lover of cheesecake. You sound like you just, and you love cheesecake, so where I can fit that cheesecake in there, I'd go in there.
But of course, it's something that we relate to. A lot of young persons say like the cherry cheesecake and all of that too, and so it's a way to, you know, fuse savory and sweet and all of that good stuff.
Okay, so now You kind of let the cat out of the bag when you brought for us today. So what was the reaction? Because when I saw this, when you posted it a few weeks, months back, I was like, what going on with Chef Mark? What is he talking about?
Yes.
Conch salad and cheesecake. So what was your inspiration behind this? Why did you figure these elements would go together or not?
Well, for me, it's, always up to a challenge. And the idea came out of nowhere. One day I was sitting on the bed and something said, conch salad cheesecake. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, let me make it make sense, like I said before. And so for me, I took the fruits that we use in a tropical conch salad,
right,
and I infused it into the base of a cheesecake. So I did like a no-bake cheesecake.
Okay.
And also for the crust, I did a gold pepper and lime flavor crust.
Okay.
And so those components, I just pretty much
So you tried to make it
yes,
more complimentary as opposed to not.
And then topping it with actual conch salad. And so the cheesecake itself isn't overly sweet like a dessert cheesecake, but it's just a natural sweetness from the pineapple and mangoes that we would have used to flavor the cheesecake.
So how are we gonna prepare this?
Yeah, so we have these in little short glasses. And actually, persons tried this before. I offered it as complimentary during our retail sale.
Right.
And yeah, persons love it. They said they can see this being something served at a cocktail party and all of that.
Really?
And of course,
has anyone and said, hey, you know what? I can do that.
I did order that. Not as yet, but we can work on that, yes, in terms of,
So is it easy or challenging to consistently come up with recipes that trend and capture attention?
At least for me, I wouldn't say, because I must have about 10 I ain't tried yet. It's just about finding the time. But yes, it's just taking our native fruits and stuff like that. Even Juju, the other day, did Juju glazed wings. We did Juju Johnny cake.
I mean, you just...
Juju Duff.
Trying everything.
Yes.
All right, so...
Yes, I there.
I see that. There is no lack.
Yes,
but we're going to try this cheesecake conch salad. That's what you call it?
Tropical conch salad cheesecake.
Tropical conch salad cheesecake. And I know some people may say yuck. Some people may say, I know what I can say, but I can know soon.
Wow. And so, yes, this is a tropical conch salad, diced small. So it all fits nicely into the little glass.
I hope you make one for you, too.
Yes, I actually tried. I went live.
Today is 2-4 today. Hello.
I actually tried it live. The first time I went live and I tried it, because persons believed like, well, Chef Mark, make this and he ain't eat it.
You tried it.
You eat this thing today.
And on a day like today, were you planning anything special in your kitchen, or you just were saying, I can just perfect this recipe for us today?
Well, I might do something later on in the week, a post 2-4 day special. So, stay tuned to the Heavenly Creations page.
All right. So this is the moment of truth. You say it's not too sweet, but I can just dive in. I can dive in. Cheers, Chef.
Yes. Sorry.
I don't know.
Just like how you have the mayo in the conch salad. Do you get that?
I'm not a mayo in a conch salad kind of lady.
Yes.
Although I grew up in Grand Bahama, and it's kind of common there. But it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. It can take some time to catch on.
Yeah, it's unique.
But it's not like, it's not a yuck.
Yes.
I'll give you that. But it's tasty. It's very flavorful. And it's a fitting treat for 2-4 days. So, Chef Mark, thank you so much for joining us today and showcasing and showing your Bahamian pride. Because you can't get no more unique than this, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. So happy 2-4 Day, and here's to keeping flavors bold, creative, and always trending.
Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking lot? You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, that's not parking. Look at this way. Like, he ain't got nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park him. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park him. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad big broke, and he got a sticker inside to say this model. We gotta move. This is handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
On a Wednesday show, Bahama comes alive. Jazz divas and the kind of energy that makes you want to be there in person. Thanks for watching. Stay connected with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.
After 66 steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. A man who posed as a female attorney sentenced to years behind bars after pleading guilty. Also, a family finds closure as a 2021 stabbing case comes to an end. And the Retired Nurses Association president supporting the move to re-engage retired healthcare professionals.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the sentencing starts now for a 30-year-old man who prosecutors say built an elaborate scheme posing as a female attorney and collecting thousands of dollars from families desperate for legal help. Akimio McIntosh was arraigned on 42 counts, including fraud, forgery, and pretending to be counsel and attorney. Our newsroom was there as the court handed down its decision. Jolanda Thompson joins us live now in studio with the latest. Jolanda.
Well, Romiko, it was a scheme built on deception, disguise, and false promises of legal help that resulted in prison time for Akimio McIntosh. The 30-year-old stood before Chief Magistrate Charlton Smith today, facing 51 criminal counts, including fraud, forgery, money laundering, and pretending to be a female attorney. The court said that for months, families believed they were dealing with a legitimate attorney named Ms. Nakiria Roll of R&R Law. The voice on the other end of the phone sounded convincing. The documents looked official. The promises felt real. But prosecutors say it was all a lie. The person behind the name was McIntosh, a man who carefully crafted a female persona to convince victims he could handle their legal matters. Among those left devastated were Shadley Brown and her mother, Ida Brown, who together lost $10,076.78. Garth Ewing was defrauded of $3,500, while Margaret Dames lost $6,294, a total of almost $20,000. The scheme unraveled shortly after 9 o'clock p.m. on February 18th, where police officers attempted to take McIntosh into custody. He tried to flee, but he didn't get far. When officers caught him, they found him dressed in spandex tights, a bra, false eyelashes, and a stocking cap. His face was fully made up, his eyebrows carefully drawn. Inside his vehicle, police allegedly discovered a travel bag containing male clothing, along with heels, jewelry, nail polish, and 2 cell phones hidden in the trunk. He acknowledged the facts but did not fully accept them, telling the court he must have played a role in the offenses. He asked for leniency, noting he had recently been diagnosed as a diabetic and the breadwinner for their family. He pleaded guilty to 51 counts, including forgery, possession of forged documents, fraud, money laundering, and pretending to be counsel and attorney. In sentencing, the magistrate said the guilty plea saved the court time and showed some level of remorse. But get this, prosecutors also revealing that this was not his first time assuming a false identity. The court heard that he had previously posed as a school principal for an institution that was never registered, a story ZNS Northern Service broke in 2024. Magistrate Smith says McIntosh's prior conviction for cruelty to children weighed heavily against him. Prosecutors say dressing as a female was a defendant's way of avoiding detection from previous charges. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison, with the sentences running concurrently. The 3 counts of pretending to be a counsel and attorney carry 6 months each, also running at the same time. The man who once convinced families he was their lawyer will now serve his sentence at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Back to you, Romiko.
Thanks so much, Jolanda. Also in news from the court, an adult male was sentenced to 35 years at the Bahamas Department of Corrections on February 24th following the stabbing death of 18-year-old Rayvon Farrinson in November of 2021. Our ZNS News team speaking with victim's emotional mother after court proceedings, who says that the year's sentence does not bring her son back. Our Shalia Rule was in court to hear the proceedings.
Grief and a sense of long-awaited justice filled the courtroom as the man convicted of killing Rayvon Farrinson was sentenced on Tuesday morning into the Supreme Court. Justice Andrew Forbes revealing the 35-year sentence to the suspect, who replied, "I understand." You may recall Jake Rigby was charged with the fatal stabbing of Farrinson, which occurred back in 2021 at a bar in Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock. According to the prosecution, Rigby, who was just 22 at the time of the incident, engaged in an altercation alongside his cousin. That confrontation leading to the defendant pulling a green-handled knife approximately 6 inches long and stabbing Farrinson multiple times about the body, leading to his untimely demise. After the court proceedings, our ZNS News team spoke with Charlene Farrinson, the mother of the stabbing victim, who was visibly emotional after the court hearing.
Everyone know him as Googles. Lord, baby. You can rest. Take your rest now.
The defendant's mother, also speaking exclusively to ZNS Northern Service, described her son as funny and loving, adding that she continues to feel the pain of his absence, an absence that will be prolonged for another 35 years as a result of his crime.
It can't bring my son back. It can't bring him back, and it can't. Only thing I got is a little bit of closure to move on with my life, but I'll forever miss my child.
During the proceedings, Farrinson's mother says that Rigby showed no remorse, and when sentenced, he replied with understood. As she spoke through tears about the years of pain her family has endured, she must now find it in her heart to forgive the man responsible for her son's death.
I have to find it in my heart to forgive him if I want to see God's face, but you're looking at someone who has no remorse. They take my baby from me, no remorse, none whatsoever.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
Well, police officials in Grand Bahama are investigating an armed robbery that occurred around 10 p.m. on Monday, February 23, 2026, involving a security armored truck conducting a bank escort at a financial institution on East Mall Drive. According to initial reports, a lone male suspect robbed the armored truck, making off with deposit bags. Officers responded to the scene where a security officer reported that the suspect, described as a male with dreadlocks, fled the area, sparking a pursuit. During that pursuit, a security officer discharged his company-issued firearm, striking the suspect. Superintendent of Police Nicholas Johnson says an adult male is now in police custody.
As a result of that information, a team of officers were dispatched to the area to investigate. Additionally, on arrival at the scene, they received information that a male was shot as a result of this incident. He was later rendered medical attention and taken to the hospital. At this time, his condition is unknown.
Now, the 51-year-old male who was apprehended by police was found in possession of an undisclosed amount of cash and an imitation firearm. He was transported to the hospital for further medical treatment and was last reported to be in stable condition. Superintendent of Police Nicholas Johnson is easing concerns among residents, noting that incidents of this nature are not common and there is no need for alarm. Investigations into the matter continues.
Investigating an additional armed robbery. We have a suspect who's in custody who's assisting the police with that matter. We're not concerned about any armed robbery trend at this time, but whenever we have these matters, we take them serious and we quickly jump on them to bring them to conclusion.
Well, switching gears now, Grand Bahama Shipyard has reached a major milestone, successfully completing the first dry docking at its newly commissioned East End floating dock in Freeport. The cruise ship Carnival Elation became the first vessel serviced at the facility, officially launching regular operations and marking a key step in the company's $600 million redevelopment program. The new dock significantly expands the shipyard's capacity, allowing it to operate as two-dock facility, with a third floating dock expected to arrive in late 2026. Shipyard officials say the modern structure strengthens technical capabilities and positions the yard to service larger vessels and multiple cruise ships at once. Chief Executive Officer Chris Earl describing the achievement as a defining moment, noting that the successful on-time completion reflects years of planning and teamwork. The redevelopment follows the loss of previous docking assets in 2019 and is part of a long-term plan to establish Grand Bahama Shipyard as a leading cruise ship repair facility in the region. The yard operates as a joint venture between Carnival Corporation, Royal Caribbean Group, and MSC Cruises. Well, amid ongoing staffing shortages across the country, healthcare system, retired nurses will soon be heading back to the bedside. The Retired Nurses Association is throwing its full support behind the government's latest move to re-engage veteran healthcare professionals to help fill critical gaps. Raven Davis has more in this report.
With hospitals under pressure and patient numbers climbing, the government is turning to retired nurses to fill the gap. President of the Retired Nurses Association on Grand Bahama, Shirley Bain, is backing Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville following his announcement that retired nurses will be re-engaged to help fill critical shortages across the country.
I fully endorsed the retirees coming back and assisting in the healthcare sector, because as retired nurses, even though we are retired, there is a whole community out there of persons who are discharged from hospital, and we also have to assist in that area.
Bain says demand for healthcare services is especially high this time of year, coming off the holidays when unhealthy eating and lifestyle habits often lead to an increase in medical cases. She points to mounting pressure at the Rance Memorial Hospital, noting that the system has been strained for several years.
Around this time at the Rance Memorial Hospital is particularly very, very busy, okay? And then we know that we were short right after Dorian, and some of the government trying its best, you know, to try to complement the shortage. And so with the retired nurses, we are still able to work. We still have our skills.
Globally, nurses make up the largest segment of the healthcare profession, but according to the National Library of Medicine, shortages persist due to limited nurse educators, high turnover, and uneven workforce distribution. Here in the Bahamas, Darville revealed earlier this month that 47 retired nurses from across the country are expected to be re-engaged to continue contributing to public health care.
We know in the public service, when you reach a certain age, that's it. But we have gotten cabinet approval to be able to bring a lot of our retired nurses back in a meaningful way to contribute, while at the same time recruiting nurses from abroad and training nurses, not only registered nurses at the university, but training nurses at our colleges.
At the same time, more than 40 clinical nurses and other health professionals recently graduated from the Public Hospitals Authority Academy, part of the government strategy to build capacity by training locally while recruiting internationally. Bain emphasizes that for retired nurses, retirement is not the end of service, especially when the country still needs their expertise. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
And still to come.
2 men recovering after separate dog attacks on Grand Bahama. Stay tuned. That story, sports, and more after the break.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
A Royal Caribbean representative will be hosting a 2-day hiring event in Freeport, and there will be a job fair on Thursday, February 26th from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also on Friday, February 27th, a swim test at the YMCA from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Visit rcgcareers.com to apply. Do It Center is doing it again. Our end-of-month sale happens this Friday, February 27th and Saturday, February 28th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy 20% off store-wide. Visit us today at the Del's Auto Product Complex, formerly Gold Rock Corp. Do It Center, where we help you get it done.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. 2 men are recovering tonight after separate dog attacks on Grand Bahama over the weekend. The executive director of the Humane Society of Grand Bahama is now speaking out, saying both incidents were preventable and that irresponsible ownership played a major role. Raven Davis has that story.
Over the weekend, 2 men were left injured in separate dog attacks on Grand Bahama. Now, Executive Director of the Grand Bahama Humane Society, Elizabeth Tip Burrows, is speaking out, warning that we don't have a dog problem, we have a people problem, adding that dogs left chained or poorly confined can turn aggressive.
In both of these cases, if the dogs were safely and humanely confined in their yards and probably neutered, would help a lot too. This wouldn't have happened.
Police say the first incident was reported Sunday on Seahorse Road, where a man jogging in the area was bitten on the leg by a pit bull. He was injured and advised to seek medical attention. In the second case, a man reported being attacked Saturday on Hearn Lane. He was bitten on the back of his left leg by a black and brown dog. The animals were taken into police custody, but with no facility to house them, they were brought to the Humane Society. However, Burrows notes that she was appalled to see one of the dogs had been confined on a heavy chain.
I can say that this dog is very aggressive, and he was wearing a 16-pound chain around his neck, which would probably make a lot of people aggressive too.
Burrows says she's seen an increase in dog attacks over time and believes not enough resources are being put toward the issue. She also points to irresponsible ownership as a major factor.
A lot more education is needed. Law enforcement is needed before we get to the point where dogs are attacking people. People need to be responsible. Don't get a dog if you don't have anywhere secure for the dog to be.
She's also calling on authorities to take cruelty and neglect cases more seriously.
And be proactive. If you pass a yard and you see a dog in the yard that's emaciated or that's, getting out of the yard, stop and talk to the owners, warn them, give them tickets.
Now, as police continue their investigations into both incidents, Burroughs advises dog owners to use an appropriate collar and tether, give their dogs enough space, provide shelter, food, and water, and make sure they get time off the chain each day for exercise and interaction. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, after competing against companies across the country, a Grand Bahamian Junior Achiever is bringing home the crown for this year's national speech competition. Andreas Burroughs of Grand Bahama Academy returning home to a warm ovation from fellow peers and teachers after winning the national competition, and he says the feeling is priceless.
But it was all worth it in the end. It wasn't easy having to stay and continue to practice, continue to make time for the speech. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it. It's a remarkable experience. Remarkable experience being able to come back to Grand Bahama with this trophy. So although the challenges were there, but we're in training for the world.
Burroughs utilizing an excerpt from his winning speech, expressing to everyone how the breakout of their shell and embrace any new challenges that may come.
And you take advantage of those things that may hold you back, and you use them to propel you forward. So that was the whole analogy behind my speech. And I hope that someone can be encouraged today to break out of your shell and to become a leader, to do the things that you wouldn't normally do, and break out of your shell in that sense. So that's what I'd like to share with anyone who's listening, anyone who's watching, to break out of your shell and to do things different so you could better yourself.
Well, for 6 seasons, New Life Worship Center Apprenticeship program has provided training and opportunity free of charge for both high schoolers and adults. Program leader Bishop Simeon Outen says the nearly 700 persons has benefited from the initiative. This season, the program runs from March 7th through May 30th. Corporate partners say they hope that the collaboration will create even more direct pathways into the workforce.
For the past 6 seasons, we have graduated close to 700. Of our young men and women. Some have already gone on to continue. And so we're excited that we could make some small impact into our community.
We've recently hired persons through PTVI where, and that person is very successful in that position. And so, again, the technical aspect is very important in what we do.
This season, New Life is partnering with BTVI, Focal, and SynGuard services to strengthen the pipeline from training to employment.
Also offer facilities that also assist with the training of these students. It is a mechanism for students to then filter into our programs.
It's a need when we look at trades. They can go ahead and get their diploma. Also, they can get their certifications in those areas. BTVI offers certifications in all of our trades. And so once they've completed their diploma, they can then go ahead and take their certification exams and be professionals. You can demand a salary.
We salute our Facebook friend of the day, Michelle Forbes Thames. We hope that you enjoyed your day, and thank you so much for your continued support. And that's a look at stories making news. Shane, tough loss for the Jaguars last night, man. What happened?
Tough break. They let it slip away in the second half, but they're looking forward to the future.
All right, that's coming up in sports?
Yep, they're back on 9.
All right, stay tuned. That's coming your way next after the break.
Do you want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome to Cornet, Bahamas, where love begins at the door. For the entire month of February, you can enjoy 25% off of our doors, flooring, and tiles. Because our love truly goes beyond the door. Whether you're building, renovating, or simply upgrading your space, we're here to guide you every step of the way. On behalf of Cornet, Bahamas, I can't wait to help you find the perfect fit.
Welcome everybody to the ZNS Total Sports Cave. I'm Shane Stubbs. The title slipped away, but the pride didn't. The St. George's Jaguars were welcomed home as heroes after falling short in the 42nd annual Hugh Campbell Basketball Championship. Matthew Martin Burrows got all the details.
The St. George's High Jaguars received a warm welcome home after finishing as Hugh Campbell Basketball Championship runner-ups, following a 75-53 loss to C.I. Gibson out of the nation's capital. Jaguars impact player with 15 points and 9 rebounds in the final, Makai Nesbitt says the return is still very much appreciated.
Even though we didn't come out how we wanted to come out, we still feel awesome to come back, get this recognition that we deserve. So we just thank you and I'm very grateful.
And Jaguars head coach Daryl Sayers says the loss falls squarely on his shoulders. However, their eyes are now set on the national title picture.
Watch out for us. Watch out for us. I mean, and like I said, you know, the thing is, you always got to be mentally prepared every game and stay focused because when you're talking about a tournament like the Hugh Campbell or coming up nationals, any team could win. Everybody there's good and everybody there wants to win. Everybody wants to do what you want to do. So you got to be prepared every game.
For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Matthew Martin Burr.
On the track, Perth, the pre-qualifier, Giovanna Bridgewater setting a personal best and breaking another Colby Community College record. He powered to a fourth-place finish at the KJCCC Indoor Championships, clocking 46.84 seconds, qualifying him once again for the NJCAA Indoor Championships. And Shavana Buddy Hield's Oklahoma Sooners jersey is hung in the rafters. Over his college career, he'd win the John R. Wooden Award, the Naismith Award, and the Oscar Robertson Trophy. Buddy Buckets would lead the Sooners to a Sweet 16 and Final Four berth in the NCAA tournament. And when it was all said and done, the 8 Mile Rock native would rank second all-time in school history in scoring.
This is all I ever wanted, is to come here and just leave an imprint on this university, to respect my country, my family, and to represent myself in the right way. Thank my coaches, Coach Kruger, for every day, with his leadership, his integrity. To Coach Crutchfield, thank you so much for being that father figure I needed in my life. I hope that God continue to bless you. To my teammates, I love you guys like my brothers. We share a special bond, and I will never be unbroken. To Sooner Nation, thank you guys for embracing me, letting me, you guys embrace Buddy Buckets, and I will never forget that. And hopefully players and my kids can see that, and hopefully my name can reign forever.
And that's your sports fix for this evening. Your check on the local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all on the rebound.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family. The brands you're looking for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Melinda Whitney, teaching diary.
One of the most damaging words a child can hear from a parent isn't a curse word. It's this one, disappointed, especially when it's used as a label and not a lesson. When a child hears, "I'm disappointed in you," they don't hear correction. They hear, "I'm not enough. I failed you. I lost your love." Discipline should correct behavior, not attack identity. There's a difference between saying, that choice was disappointing, and saying, you disappoint me. One teaches responsibility, the other teaches shame. Correct the action. Protect the child's heart, because children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who discipline with love.
From island to island, a digital wave is sweeping across the Bahamas, and it's reached the shores of Long Island.
It's been very rewarding being here in Long Island and speaking with persons in the community. There's definitely an interest in what the digital financial services platforms have to offer. And it's also very insightful to understand some of the on-the-ground challenges that the community has. And I think it's important to see how we incorporate them in terms of the access to banking and payment services.
The Pay Fast, Live Digital campaign, powered by the Central Bank of the Bahamas and the Clearing Banks Association, is rolling out fast, safe, and easy digital payments across every island, making life simpler, quicker, and more convenient for everyone.
For business owners, you want more transactions. You want to be able to reach as many customers as you can. Therefore, you have to embrace the digital revolution with payments.
Digital payments are making life easier in Long Island. From quick taps to secure transfers, we're bringing real change to real communities. Join the movement that's transforming the way we pay.
The future of pay is digital.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, it's in the inner city and persons who really include and so much at a loss they do. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything.
You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a former cabinet minister and now F&M candidate distances himself from claims of involvement in a cocaine bust in the United States. Plus, sentencing day for a former Police Staff Association chair. Hear how long a judge has ordered Sonny Miller served behind bars. And the spirit, pride, and resilience of the Bahamas on full display on this 242 day. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. It's a lot more than his defense team was bargaining for, but a little less than what he ultimately faced. A fall from grace today for a former Police Staff Association chair who learned his fate following a drug conviction. Leading us off tonight is our Fern Carey with the details of Sonny Miller's sentencing.
Former chairman of the Police Staff Association, Sonny Miller, sentenced to 6 years behind bars at the Bahamas Department of Corrections for his role in a drug trafficking scheme. Miller appeared calm as Deputy Chief Magistrate Shaka Seville passed sentence. Miller was Assistant Superintendent of Police and officer in charge of Acklands, Crooked Island, and Long Key when prosecutors said he assisted 2 Colombians in bringing the dangerous drugs into the country. In passing sentence, the Deputy Chief Magistrate highlighted that Miller was a serving police officer of superior rank who served on the force for 29 years. He said the former ASP was expected to ensure that the offenses he was convicted of did not happen, but didn't. In his plea in mitigation, Miller's attorney, Bijan Ferguson, asked the court to give him no more than 2 years in prison, stressing that the Bahamas Department of Corrections is not fit for human habitation, and noted that Miller has health issues that could not be properly managed at the prison. Ferguson also cited Miller's strong community engagement, but prosecutor Shanika Carey noted that Miller was found with 72 kilos of cocaine worth $1.4 million and 15 kilos of marijuana valued at $68,000. She said Miller used his position as a cover to commit the offenses. The prosecutor urged the judge to send a strong message of deterrence. Miller was facing up to 7 years behind bars for the crime. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Meantime, an FNF candidate's pushing back after his name began circulating online in connection with a major federal drug investigation over in the United States. Leah Cooper has the details in this next report.
Former National Security Minister and Free National Movement Mount Moriah candidate Marvin Dames breaks his silence with social media buzzing over claims that a Bahamian politician could be linked to a major drug bust at sea in the United States. Dames says he wants to make it clear he has done nothing wrong, and so far no authority in the Bahamas or the United States has named any political figure as a target in this case. Here's what we do know, though. Federal documents detail a February 11th interception just 4 nautical miles off Fort Lauderdale. A 45-foot boat called the Real Experience was stopped after arriving from Nassau. On board, investigators say they found a staggering 200 kilograms of cocaine, bricked, wrapped, and in plain view, along with 248 bottles of cough syrup. The man at the center of it all, Malcolm Rashad Goodman, is now facing federal drug charges. The affidavit states that after being advised of his rights, Goodman declined to speak without an attorney. However, prior to receiving those warnings, he allegedly made spontaneous statements, including, "I am going to eat it," and further stated that he was guilty and solely responsible for the smuggling of the narcotics. Goodman is charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine and importation of a controlled substance. A pretrial detention order filed February 20th shows that Goodman waived his right to a bond hearing and stipulated to detention. He remains in the custody of the United States Marshals pending trial. Goodman is charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine and importation of a controlled substance. Now, Dames admits he knew the man in this investigation in a business capacity, but he draws a hard line there. He says he has had no knowledge of any illegal activity, no involvement in any smuggling operation, and that neither he nor his wife has engaged in criminal conduct. He says he's ready to cooperate, ready for scrutiny from law enforcement here in the Bahamas and in the United States. Now, there's also been rumors circulating on social media of Dames dropping out of the race due to these allegations, and Free National Movement officials have told ZNS News that this information is absolutely false, maintaining that Dames has done nothing wrong. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, thanks, Leah. Well, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis among regional leaders attending CARICOM's 50th regular meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis. Reflecting on the year that was, CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett deemed 2025 one of the most challenging years in the history of regional integration movement, extreme weather events, geopolitical tension, challenges to multilateralism, the rules-based system, and economic pressures, all of which tested the region, she says, and threatened hard-won gains. But even in the face of gains, she reminded CARICOM leaders of the importance of the meeting against the prevailing environment, begging the need for frank and thorough discussions over the next few days. Well, coming up, more tourism product offerings needed. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Forget them flower, forget them check. You know it's Tommy get the respect. AP is hot, we sitting close. Grease on your lip, that's how I know. You is my person.
8 tasty pieces of chicken, thighs, and legs for just $20. Add a large side for $5. This February, love deserves a bucket. KFC is finger-licking good.
Welcome back to The Movement, your energy and transport briefing. In this special edition, we look back at 2025, a year of milestones, breakthroughs, and real impact across both energy and transport in the Bahamas.
From groundbreaking energy projects to safer streets for our communities, 2025 is setting the pace for progress. Let's start by seeing how energy is powering our islands forward.
2025 marked a major leap in renewable energy. With the National Energy Policy 2025 to 2030 finalized, the foundation was set for cleaner, more reliable power. The Energy Summit brought it to life, spotlighting multi-island power purchase agreements, New Providence's first utility-scale solar project, and LNG agreements shaping a more sustainable future.
We are carefully overseeing each development, with most stations expected to be online by the fourth quarter of 2026.
The ministry's transport initiatives focused on safety and connectivity. School crossing guards and solar-powered signs improved road safety, while the Drive Safe to Arrive Alive campaign reinforced safe driving nationwide. Partnerships with AdFi and BTC also brought Wi-Fi to public buses and taxis, improving connectivity for commuters. 2025 wasn't just a year of plans, it was a year of action. Every ministry-led project and partnership brought cleaner energy, safer roads, and stronger connections, shaping a future Bahamians can rely on.
We've chosen a future where Bahamians can rely on their energy system instead of worrying about it.
I'm Larissa Lundy, and this is The Movement, your energy and transport briefing. 2025 set the pace, and our future is already in motion. Stay with us.
You're looking at a shot there of John F. Kennedy Drive near the headquarters of the Bahamas Red Cross, and that shot courtesy of drone pilot Shane Gibson Jr. As always, good job there, Shane. Welcome back. A sharp exchange over the country's energy overhaul as minister responsible pushes back against criticism from the opposition leader. Leah Cooper has that story.
A sharp rebuke from Energy and Transport Minister, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, aimed squarely at opposition leader Michael Pintard, and she's not mincing words. The minister says the leader of the Free National Movement has developed a habit of getting energy facts wrong and misleading Bahamians about what's really driving their light bills. Last Thursday, the government released over 3,000 pages of documents that break down power purchase agreements between Bahamas Power and Light and various private companies. In a statement on Sunday, Pintard says Bahamian consumers could face 50 to 55 cents per kilowatt hour on bills, adding that this isn't modernization, but a generational tax on every household, business, school, and hospital across the country. In a statement, Colby Davis says Bahamas Power and Light is carrying $500 million in debt, with more than $50 million annually to subsidize power in the Family Islands, plus $25 million is spent renting generators. She noted that within 5 years, most Family Island power plants will be at the end of life, with a replacement price tag north of $80 million. Minister Colby Davis says claims about a 4.6 cent charge gutting BPL are flat out false, calling it a fuel pass-through that does not touch operations. She also pushed back on criticism of the 5.5 cent transmission and distribution fee, saying millions go into hurricane recovery and debt reduction, with profits from Bahamas Grid Company flowing back to the public. Pintard also criticized the deals for not meeting standards, charging that performance indicators and key performance metrics are wholly inadequate. He adds that Bahamians have no real recourse if these companies don't ever deliver. But Colby Davis says performance standards are built into more than 3,000 pages of agreements, with penalties if companies fail to deliver. The alternative, she argues, keep paying sky-high subsidies, keep renting old engines, keep passing the bill to taxpayers, rather. Instead, she points to solar battery storage and modern gas technology, with LNG ISO tanks already headed to the Bahamas. The energy minister's message: math matters. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, the Bahamas is gaining new ground in international trade policy. Bahamas Trade Commission Chair Senator Barry Griffin has successfully negotiated key amendments at the Caribbean European Union Parliamentary Assembly. The changes formally recognize trade and services, the backbone of the local economy, with the EU-Caribbean Cooperation Framework. Now, the amendments support sectors including financial, professional, and digital services, while also encouraging regulatory cooperation, digital trade, and greater mobility for Caribbean professionals. The Commission says the outcome positions the Bahamas to benefit from future EU programs and trade development initiatives.
We discussed a recommendation that would be adopted by the European Union, and the Bahamas advocated for certain changes that would benefit the Bahamian private sector and Bahamian people at large. In particular, we wanted greater recognition for trade in services, which is the principal part of our economy. We don't produce much physical goods, and so recognition of trade in services would be paramount for the Bahamas, so that our professional and businesses that provide services, whether it's tourism services, professional services, creative services, digital services, that we have better market access to the European Union.
Meantime, tourism officials are continuing efforts to boost the amount of money cruise visitors spent here in the Bahamas. Tourism Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says meetings were held with stakeholders on Monday to ensure they understand the need to create more product offerings for tourists.
One of the main complaints from guests is that there's not enough to do. So the money is there to be made. We want to increase the spend. The numbers are here. We're getting the volume. Now we just need to do what we need to do to create opportunities, more opportunities for them to spend.
Well, steady progress, he said, is also being made on the Downtown Revitalization Project, a major tourism initiative aimed at transforming the historic city center.
We're making steady progress on the downtown revitalization. We are in the process of mobilizing resources for an RFP for the development of some of the vacant properties. You know, we've demolished many of the buildings, and many of them are now vacant. We're going to be actively turning them into green spaces, very lush green spaces. We had Bites on Bay the other day out at Elizabeth. We're creating opportunities. We're creating energy buzzes on Bay Street to ensure that people understand the rhythm and vitality of Bay Street and bringing back that old charm. So we want new development that is consistent with the architecture, the culture, the heritage of downtown Nassau.
A middle-aged man is lucky to be alive after falling on the job last evening in the Seabreeze area. According to police, the 57-year-old was at the time carrying out repairs to a streetlight approximately 20 feet above ground while on a bucket truck. However, the lift mechanism reportedly malfunctioned, causing the man to fall to the ground. The injured man was rushed to hospital, and at last report, he was in stable condition. The matter is under active investigations. Well, also making news tonight, authorities are trying to track down two robbers who held up patrons of a restaurant in Western New Providence. In the meantime, officers mounted a walkabout in hopes of strengthening dialogue with the business community. Out West, Alex Forbes tells us more.
Police say they moved swiftly following that armed robbery incident here in the Western District, increasing patrols and stepping directly into the community.
Very rare. This is the Western area. It doesn't happen much. So that's why it's a considerable concern that something like this happened in the Western area. So that's why you see this presence, so that we could allay the fear of that incident, that one incident, because the Western area is not a high crime area.
According to police, the robbery occurred shortly before 10 p.m. Officers say the two masked men made their way into the restaurant through separate entrances. The two bandits reportedly fled the scene in a white vehicle and are still on the run. But officers are hoping, with the assistance of the business community, they can close in on the suspects.
For a lot of the business owners, we'd like them to partner with us. Partner with us as it relates to our Fuses platform. That's where we can they can share their video cameras for their businesses with us. Any concerns, any alerts, we could assist and it will provide quicker response time as it relates to those matters if they have any concern.
Chief Superintendent McGregor further explained how the local business community can tap in the police initiative to help impact crime in the area.
They can go on to royalbahamaspolice.org. They can sign on the site. There's a link there that asks you to just submit your email address and your name, that in the event there's something, that there is an incident, say an armed robbery or break-in that occurs in that area, and we know that you have a camera that's in that area, so we could contact you and say, hey, is it possible for you to send us the footage?
Officers say the goal is clear: to be visible, to be proactive, and to ensure residents that crime will not go unanswered. Reporting from the western side of New Providence, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
A recently released study from the University of the Bahamas shedding light on the cultural practice here in the Bahamas known as sweethearting, or relationships formed outside primary unions. The research, which surveyed thousands of Bahamian adults, revealed striking trends. Among them, that 54% of married women surveyed reported that their outside companions was a better lover than their spouses, compared to the 39.5% of married men. The study also found low condom use among participants, with only 29% of men and women reporting consistent protection. We spoke with Bishop Anthony Farrington, who strongly condemned the findings and the normalization of such behavior, warning that studies like this should not be amplified or encouraged.
Really, I was just shocked. I mean, I know that sweethearting was happening for a long time, you hear, but now for it to be actually put into a study and that you can actually read and quantify and document it, it is very alarming. Our society has drifted tremendously from our forefathers' foundation. I can say that it's really being accepted. You know, each one of us, or most of us, may say that we may know someone who is partaking in this type of activity. It is wrong. I condemn it as a religious leader. I believe in the institution of family. A family is with one husband and one wife with their children.
Beyond relationships, Bishop Farrington also pointed to what he believes are more urgent national priorities, like crime and health care.
You look at the stats. In this period, it shows that crime has diminished. But then, you know, when you see the news and you see people living in their community still in fear, then you say, well, you know, is crime really under control, right? I think that more can be done. I am an Anglican man. I come from Anglican. I go to Anglican every day, and I understand, you know, what the feel is in the inner city. So there is still much to be done. I think that there has been great progress made, but until we get not one murder in this country, I am alarmed.
Smart pass.
I am a what?
Smart way to pay at the pump.
Power has reach. It stretches across communities, lighting homes, schools, and businesses. But some of that power extends far beyond the grid. And for one BPL employee, that reach is touching lives, restoring hope, and creating second chances.
How many of you have heard these statements? They have done the crime, now they must spend the time. What about throw the key away and just lock them up? People in the street ask this question. Dave, why are you wasting time with them old criminals? They can't change. And my response has been, they will return back to society.
For Williams, it's this reality that has powered more than 20 years of work in prison ministry. Speaking to the Men-Only Rotary Club of West Nassau, Williams explained why men are at a greater risk of reoffending.
Most of them come out and they can't find nothing to do, because why? Society is not willing to give them a chance.
Denver Pratt, who spent 10 years in federal prison, is a living example of a second chance. Now a business owner, he has dedicated his life to mentoring young men through Prison Fellowship Bahamas.
All of us has to be a part of this crime problem, get involved, seek someone that you can mentor to deter them from crime, because if not, it's going to come to our doors, it's going to come to our businesses. So all of us have to play a part. The key thing to this, and what kept me for all of those years is having a relationship with Jesus Christ.
I think one of the things that stood out to me is the need for fathers in the home. Without that influence, a lot of young men in particular get led astray.
From empowering communities to empowering lives, this is what service beyond the grid looks like. And for David Williams, service doesn't just end when the lights turn on. It begins when hope is restored.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, on this 242 Day, we're bringing you the colors of national colors, rather, as a unit. I, of course, representing the sun. Marlena, Royston, take it from here.
Absolutely right. It's 242 Day, and I feel like across the Council of the Bahamas tonight, us three as a collective, as a unit, we're wearing the right colors. We're clad in the appropriate colors.
Got the elements represented.
Yes. I see the gold. I see the aquamarine.
Right. A little more gold.
A little more gold.
Yeah.
It's looking good. But I think like how Foxtail Day has that flagpole climbing, we could have something for today. Maybe like a conch eating contest.
Of course, it's about food. That's right. Yeah,
eating
conch fritter, conch salad, you know.
I feel like I'd be the reigning champion, at least for...
Of course you do. You win a couple of rock, paper, scissors things, and you're like, I got it, everything.
You gotta believe it.
We got more fun coming up tonight. Well, stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili. Wow, wow. Garlic and ginger have many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you. Those pepper wings, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know. So many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper wings.
Isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? You haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Well, in the spirit of national pride, Sandals Royal Bahamian celebrating 242 with a vibrant showcase of Bahamian culture, cuisine, and hospitality. Hotel execs say the goal is simple: immerse guests in the full Bahamian experience. Our Shaquille Dames takes it from here.
Sandals Royal Bahamian is turning up the island pride, celebrating 242 with a vibrant showcase of Bahamian culture, cuisine, and hospitality. Hotel manager Delino Moss says the goal is simple: immerse guests in the full Bahamian experience. We also caught up with longtime ambassador guests, Patricia and James Carey Faprier, who say that Nassau remains their favorite destination.
What's going on here today is we're celebrating the 242
We're having a grand time here at Stand-Up's Royal Bahamian, introducing our guests to everything that is Bahamian, all the experiences, the great food, the music, the fun, the conky conch fritters, the conch salad to my left over here. We are just having a grand day and sharing our history and our local cuisine and everything that is Bahamas or being a Bahamian. We are making sure our guests are enjoying it to the fullest.
This is Patricia Frappier. She's been coming 854 paid nights, and that's not including 11 free weeks that she has had. And I've been coming with about 5 years with her, and we've had a great time. We come 6-8 times a year to different sandals. We come here a lot.
This is our favorite.
This is our favorite right here.
This has become our favorite.
Nassau is a favorite. You know, it's the atmosphere. Look at all this. Look what's going on here. You know, the great pools. You know, the massages. Unbelievable. You know, so there's a lot of great things that happening here at Sandals.
Beyond the food and festivities, 242 Day also highlights local artisans who help keep Bahamian traditions alive. We spoke with straw vendor Eloy Smith, who not only showcases handcrafted pieces, but also teaches guests the art of plaiting.
I am displaying my straw work and other gifts and stuff that tourists buy, and I was doing the plaiting class to show the tourists how plaiting is done in the Bahamas to make the bags. And it went very well. I had just two ladies came and they did very well with the plaiting today. And but I do it every Friday. At Sandals here. Every Friday I do the plaiting class.
Conch salad, conch fritters, coconut water, and junk canoe. 242 Day is in full display here at Sandals Royal Bahamian, and they are truly embodying what it means to be a proud Bahamian. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shaquille Dames.
Well done there, Shaquille. That does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources officials were recently joined by Prime Minister Philip Davis for the opening of the Department of Agriculture office and the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation's Fish and Farm store at Smiths Bay, Cat Island. The site, which is traditionally known as the packing house, is now a place where farmers and fishers can get assistance with supplies, registration, and much more. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Joe McCampbell called it a site of opportunity.
We are truly planting something powerful inside this packing house. For the first time in the history of the Department of Agriculture, farmers on this island now have a permanent place to come, to register, to receive technical guidance, to access support, and more importantly, to be seen. For too long, too many of our family island farmers have had to navigate distance, delay, and difficulty just to get basic services. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we changed that.
Prime Minister Davis says the opening of these facilities prove that agriculture is not a relic of the past.
Together, these two facilities enhance food security. We have one place where farmers can register, receive guidance, and access the inputs they need, and one location where government, the IC, and the farming and fishing community operate in coordination. But I want you to understand something. This office and this store do not stand alone.
Officials say more fish and farm stores will open on other family islands in the near future. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
back at Little Caesars. And good. Our popular Chicago-style pizza is back for a limited time only. Enjoy this delicious, thick, buttery crust pizza that's packed with layers of cheese, meats, and veggies for just $18. That inclusive. Now available at all 5 of our locations. Little Caesars, Oakville, Carmichael Road, East Street, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and 1 East Plaza.
Pizza. Political newcomer Owen Wells looking to bring the newly created St. James constituency into the fold of the Progressive Liberal Party.
Plus, Coca-Cola promoting its partnership with the FIFA World Cup. Those details straight ahead.
Also walking for a cause and the extended benefits from a unique initiative. Stay close for that.
And in sports, the Rattlers and Jaguars go head-to-head for Hugh Campbell bragging rights.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Well, good evening on this thankful Tuesday. I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Welcome indeed. Today, February 24th, is 242 Day here in the Bahamas, a day to show Bahamian pride, our cultural identity, and who we are as a people.
That's right. It's a day where you'll see aquamarine, gold, and black proudly on display in schools, offices, communities, and of course, the Bahamian diaspora abroad. It's a reminder ahead of our independence celebrations that pride isn't just about history, but it's also about the way we carry ourselves forward daily.
Absolutely. And as we celebrate what defines us, we're also looking at how we continue to grow, lead, and move ahead together. For now, let's dive right into the news. He's been keeping law and order as a leading attorney for 15 years, 3 of them as managing partner of McKinney & Turner & Co. But now the PLP's candidate for St. James constituency, Owen Wells, is now ready to serve in a different capacity. LaDawn Davis spoke candidly with him on her new series called Political Lens to find out why he believes constituents should mark their X for him on Election Day.
Noted attorney, businessman, and devoted Anglican Owen Wells securing the nomination to serve a constituency he's lived in with his family for about 9 years is bittersweet. The neophyte of the political arena shared the inspiration behind the decision to run on the Progressive Liberal Party's ticket.
It's not really about me, it's more about country and progress, and wanting to see continued progress for what is happening now in the Bahamas. Obviously, I think the PLP is the party, and the progress that they have now, I want to help build upon that.
In early January, the constituency's commission approved the formation of the St. James constituency in Western New Providence. On the record, the country's 41st constituency already has some 5,164 registered voters. Candidate Wells strongly believes that assessing the issues St. James residents face and making himself more available will give him the edge to pick up a win at the polls.
Everyone that I've visited thus far is happy that someone new is entering, someone with a fresh vision, fresh ideas, and someone that seems that they're ready to serve.
As the PLP's campaign kicks into high gear and boots remain on the ground, Wells contends one of his biggest goals is to get to the root cause of voter apathy among young voters.
There's a segment in our society who are totally disenfranchised with the process, disenfranchised with politics, and disenfranchised with parliamentarians on the general. They think that things will always be the same, and that parliamentarians and members of parliament are only concerned for themselves and not concerned about the needs and wants of a community in general. They think that once they give you the vote, you won't see them again.
And regardless of titles and the wealth of experience his opponents may have, Wells admits he's more than confident that when it's all said and done and ballots are tallied, all will be well with Owen Wells. For Political Lens, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Thanks so much, LaDawn. Now, for more on this story, check out our Facebook and YouTube platforms. You can also contact our sales department for special Know Your Candidate packages. Marlena?
Thanks, Royston. Well, if you're a soda fan or a soccer fan, Coca-Cola is bringing the excitement of the World Cup closer to home with a series of interactive pop-ups across New Providence and Grand Bahama. Customers who purchase select Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola No Sugar products can qualify for a chance to win prizes. Senior Director of Marketing Cara Douglas Adderley explains how the global FIFA partnership is coming to life locally.
This is one of 5 pop-ups that we'll be doing in the next couple of months. And this is all in celebration of Coca-Cola's global partnership with FIFA. And as some people would probably know, that the World Cup is happening this summer. So this is a part of our ongoing celebration of that collaboration with Coca-Cola and FIFA. And as you'll see, we have a wonderful pop-up goalie that we'll be taking around New Providence and into Freeport as well, giving people an opportunity to win cash, depending on the points that they earn through the goalie. There's a 5-point, a 10-point, and a 15-point. Nobody has gotten the 15-point as yet. And I know that you're going to try and show us like how easy it is to score a point on this goalie as well.
Behind the activations and promotions is a team working to bring each experience together. Assistant Marketing Manager Jasmine Darling shares more about the creativity that goes into making events like this happen.
I am responsible for Fanta, Minute Maid, Monster, Schweppes, as well as assisting with different initiatives like the Coca-Cola initiatives and any additional support needed for various events that we hold and any other marketing initiatives that may come about. I assist with those things. I also do graphic design and creative direction. So sometimes if we need like little designs made like on the spot, then I would take care of that. One of those being this wonderful backdrop that we see behind us. I'd made that and basically worked out the logistics of everything and all that stuff just to try to, add more life to the activation.
Look out for the next pop-up in March, of course. Now, in other news, a community leader in the trenches of saving lives for more than 5 decades is asking for your help in continuing the work. In this report, our Lloyd Allen shares how medical challenges have slowed those efforts, but still, this youth advocate is pressing forward with the work of saving the next generation.
Let your good be better and your better be best.
Responding to the issue of violence in the inner city, Sensei Randy Johnson on any given weekend can be seen on the Columbus Primary School Park doing what he has done for the past 49 years, pouring into the lives of young men with the goal of creating a shift. Operating a kind of institution, he has taught the Japanese art of karate and meditation, giving students an alternate to violence. After years of unselfish giving, Sensei Johnson has found himself in need of support as he battles a health challenge which has impacted his mobility but not his fight.
I went to Havana, Cuba 2 years ago and had hip replacement surgery, meaning that there's no cartilage between my femur and my pelvis.
That journey ushering Johnson to another international search for relief, this time to the Cayman Islands. A man of modest means, Johnson is hoping for assistance for those he has impacted along the way. That, added with Good Samaritans, in registering for his Easter Monday walkathon. Patrice Delancey has worked with Johnson since the late 80s and agrees his efforts have helped many to escape the clutches of violence.
I was a part of his school from 1987. The work that he gave us is what made us what we are today.
Parents Rosemary Lockhart and Cynthia Brown truly believe Sensei Johnson's work has been a game changer.
But actually, I have my son and my nephew a part of the program, and for both of them, I've seen great improvement. They are honorable students at school. My son is a part of so many different clubs and activities, and it's all part of being in the YW organization. He has that confidence.
The program is free, and so that was a big deal for me because of finances, and I wanted him to be involved in a club that would have discipline.
I'm asking all Bahamians from all walks of life to come on out. Let's have a healthy walk.
For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks so much, Lloyd. We're live with the organizers of the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center's Geriatric Push-a-thon. And of course, Diane Dorset has your Access weather forecast, so stay close.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, and Shop Smart, and Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Bahamas' biggest night of worship this February 27th. New Birth Ministry International and YBE Promotion presents Chandler Moore, I Shall Not Want, official praise concert. The voice that electrified a generation will be performing live.
This is Chandler Moore. I am coming to Nassau, Bahamas for the first time. February 27th, Nassau, Bahamas, Beach Soccer Stadium. I cannot wait to see y'all. Love you.
Also performing, Nigel Lewis, DJ Godson, Shara J, and Austin Jador. Friday, February 27th at the Beach Soccer Stadium in Nassau. Tickets on sale now at BahamasEatTickets.com. Sponsored by Embrace Resort in Staniel Key, Exuma, Bahamas. Inspiration 107.9, Zaymar. For info, call 242-357-0116 or call 242-427-8111.
Marlena, Ryson. It's 2-4-2 day or 2-4 Tuesday, but this weather clearly ain't Bahamian because you know us Bahamians don't like too much cold. So I'm sure everyone at home has a good pot of soup or stew conch or sauce, something Bahamian. And when it's done, I hope y'all give me a call. But before we get into all that good stuff, let's get into what's shaping our access weather forecast. Our satellite picture shows clearing skies over the northwest and the central Bahamas with some residual clouds over the extreme southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Meanwhile, that high pressure will weaken through Saturday with winds decreasing over the northwest and the central Bahamas to more ideal boating conditions. Now, taking a look at your boating forecast. In the northwest Bahamas tonight, winds will be light and variable with seas at 1 to 3 feet and a high tide at 1:48. For those in the central Bahamas, winds will be northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots with seas at 2 to 4 feet. And for the southeast Bahamas tonight, winds will be northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots, seas at 4 to 7 feet. And small craft operators are advised to exercise caution. For those in the northwest and central Bahamas, on Wednesday and Thursday, winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll get a low tide at 8:22 in the morning, followed by a high tide at 2:06 in the afternoon. And finally, for the southeast Bahamas, winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas at 4 to 7 feet, and that small craft advisory will still be in effect. It's time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Oh, yeah.
Your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your access weather forecast. Royston, Marlena.
Thanks so much, Diane. I hope you've copyrighted that 2-4 Tuesday. I might have to steal that from you. It's time now for your today's BTC Connection.
Thank you guys for joining us here today. The Bahamas is witnessing PTC transition from a traditional telecommunications company into a technology company, and we're proud to be one of the leading partners in the automotive space. We're proud as the leading partner to support this transition with the delivery of 10 carry commercial cargo vans that will allow BTC to not only deliver to its customers in more efficiency and style, but to also continue to protect the Bahamas for generations to come.
At BTC, our job is simple. That is to keep you connected with fast, reliable service wherever you are in the Bahamas. And today, we're excited to share a step forward that help us do exactly that. We are adding 10 new electric service vehicles to our fleet. And we couldn't be more proud of what this means for our customers and for our country.
To be honest, with these vehicles here, it's hard to even think about the previous ones.
With these new vehicles, I believe that we're ready to take over the Bahamas again.
Great news coming from BTC. Thanks, Royston. Well, tonight we're talking about the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center's Geriatric Push-a-thon. Joining us are Medical Service Advisor for the Public Hospitals Authority, Dr. Indira Grimes, and Director of Gerontology Services, Dr. Keith Rivers. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. Access now.
Thank you.
Now, before we get into this year's event, can you tell us a little bit about how the Push-a-thon originally came about?
Well, thank you. In 2012, World Health Day focused on aging and health, talking about adding life to years. And so the geriatric team came up with the concept of the push-a-thon because physical activity helps to add life to years. And we wanted to involve seniors from all walks of life and all walks of capabilities to be involved, including our patients at the geriatric hospital. So the push-a-thon was developed to allow persons to participate whether they're running, walking, being pushed in a wheelchair, or even pushing.
Just increasing accessibility for anybody who can participate. So when is this year's going to be, and what can people expect from this year's push-a-thon?
Well, this year we're expecting it to be on the 4th of July. Okay. Now, why did we choose that?
Yes, tell us.
One of the most accessible date. We wanted it in July, like in former years, and the 4th was what we came up with. And so we're expecting the same amount of community activity, participation from the staff, as Dr. Grimes had started, and we want to just finish in that footstep and make it the way how it always has been.
Now, you mentioned it's not just open to patients and clients of the Rehabilitation Center. How can people in the community get involved, and how many people in your community are involved? Because I'm assuming you also have some of your healthcare providers also participating.
Yes, we get great support from the healthcare providers at Sandilands Rehabilitation Center. The entire geriatric team participates. Many of them participate on the committee itself, and all of the patients are very excited for the event every year. For community involvement, we have a website, pushathon242.com, where they can register. We also can register persons on site at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center. And I'm sure that we have the communications team ready to register persons even virtually via WhatsApp, whatever it takes. We have delivered packages to persons when they're ready for registration. So we want to encourage our community partners to continue with us for the 15th year.
How exciting. And we're a few months out, but it's never too early to get started and get yourself registered. So I hope everyone is going to get on that early. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and best of luck with the push-a-thon. We hope to have you back again when it's done. Now it's time for us to turn things over to Total Sports to see what's on tap.
Z.I. Gibson Rattlers take this year's Hugh Campbell title. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The Kendall G. Lazick Gymnasium was the place to be on Monday night as it played host to an epic Nassau versus a Grand Bahama clash as the St. George's Jaguars faced off against the Z.I. Gibson Rattlers in the 42nd Hugh Campbell Basketball Tournament Championship game. That would see the Rattlers prevail and Kevin Johnson secure an unprecedented 7th Hugh Campbell title. Let's take a look at the highlights. Opening quarter, the Jaguars in transition. Cameron McIntosh gets the first basket of the game to put St. George's up 2-0. So in the first quarter, Rattlers on offense. Sidney Higgs gets the tough layup to go to cut the score to 4 with just under 2 to play. Still in the first, Jaguars' Makai Nesbitt takes the bump, misses his layup, but he would get the rebound and go back up for 2. He had a side-high 15 points and 9 boards. Closing moments of the first, Nesbitt crossover into the midi pull-up, swishes it in to put the Jags up by 9. To the second, Rattlers looking to gain an advantage on the inside. They'd find big man Mario Roll, who finishes strong on the inside through the contact to make this a one-possession game. Not the last time we will hear that name called. So in the second, Jaguars with numbers on the break. Daquan Joseph with the Euro step into the lefty lay. Jags go up by 3. Rattlers in transition on the break. Jawado Wright missed here. Mario Roll gets the rebound and put back to give the Rattlers their first lead of the game in this one, 23-22. Rattlers cling to a 1-point lead, but Daquan Joseph would find Ian Gibson on the inside for the easy finish to put the Jaguars back up by 1, 35-34. And that will be the score at the half. To the third quarter, where the tide would turn in favor of the Rattlers, turning up the defense, getting the steal here and the layup to go up by 5. Rattlers defense still swarming, forcing another turnover. Dariano Stubbs will find Jawado Wright again for the layup. Rattlers up by 7. Still in the third, Darius Hanna goes up for the layup but misses, but no problem. Super Mario Roll there yet again for the putback. Rattlers go up by double digits. Closing moments of the third, Rattlers on the break, right with the miss, and Roll there yet again. He would finish with a monster stat line of 24 points and 18 rebounds. Jags trying to stop the bleeding in the fourth quarter. Nesbitt with the floater to cut things to 11, but the Rattlers bite just too venomous on this night. Sidney Higgs, top of the key, Hezzy into the tough left-handed finish to mark the exclamation point on this one. Kevin KJ Johnson securing his 7th Hugh Campbell title with a 75-53 win. Mario Roll, your championship MVP.
It's hard work, persevering. I just want to thank God for the opportunity to coach these young men and try to do our best to keep these young men out of jail, try to help them as best as we can. Instead of Mario lost his dad, he's playing with a heavy heart. And I feel it for him. But he came out and did it for him, you know. And he worked so hard where he came from. And I'm happy for him. And, you know, I just want to also thank my wife for giving me the opportunity to come out in the long hours coaching these young men. And, you know, even the principal at the C.I. Gibson and all the staff down there, they really support the program.
And of course, the celebrations are not stopping last night as they would be carried over to the school's campus in Marathon this morning. In this report, our Charles Fisher lets us know how Rattler Nation and the game's MVP felt about being on top once again.
The morning after, chants ringing for MVP Mario Roll. 24 points, 18 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots.
For the first time, they was tripling me. Like every time I catch the ball, 5 of them coming to me, so I couldn't really do nothing. But the second half, I started feeling the game. Then the game just come to me, let the game come to me. I ain't just going about it, I force it and just let the game come to me.
Roll deciding to play days after losing his father, rode that emotion with most of his family and supporters shouting his name throughout the game.
I continued playing in the tournament because I know if my daddy was there, he'd have been proud of me, witnessing what I could do. Even though he didn't know I could do it, but I did it for him.
For being named MVP, he received 2 round-trip tickets courtesy of Bahamas Air to go watch VJ Edgecombe and the Philadelphia 76ers face the Miami Heat at the end of March.
First Hugh Campbell MVP award, make history. Didn't get none last year or year before last. My other teammate get it, but I feel good I get this one, my senior year.
Looking forward to the trip to Miami next month?
Yes, sir.
Who are you taking with you?
My mommy.
Coach Kevin K.J. Johnson, the winningest coach in Hugh Campbell history, with 7 and a high five for the boys. A job well-deserved and done. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Switching lanes, this time in track news from this weekend. World record holder Devin Charlton showing she is still amongst the elite hurdlers in the world. Charlton recording a season's best time, meet record, and current world lead of 7.7 seconds at the Orland Copernicus Cup staged in Torun, Poland over the weekend. Charlton advanced out of Heat 2 with the second fastest time of 7.87 seconds, and the two-time world indoor gold medalist and world indoor record holder lowered her time to 7.77 seconds for a first-place finish in the final at the World Athletics Indoor Tour meet. Charlton's time was just 0.05 of a second shy of the 7.72 second mark. That solidified her second straight victory in the women's 60-meter hurdles at last year's World Indoor Championships in Nanjing, China. Again, a recent time is ranked first in the world in the women's 60-meter hurdles, placing her in good standing ahead of next month's World Indoor Championships, slated for March 20 through the 22nd in Torun, Poland. And that's all the time we have for you for sports on this Tuesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
You're looking at a shot of Go Slow Bend on West Bay Street, courtesy of drone pilot Shane Gibson Jr. And it's time now to take a trip back to the big yard. Let's go.
Healthcare in Central Angus receiving a much-needed boost with the addition of a new ambulance. Area Member of Parliament, the Honourable Leon Lundy, thanked Health and Wellness Minister, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, and his team for their commitment of ensuring Family Islands are not left out.
It's all about instilling some pride and dignity in them to let them know that we're hearing their complaints. We're trying to fulfill everything for them. Their mandate with healthcare, better healthcare. We started off with renovating the clinic fully, and now we finally brought an ambulance. So we'll have some EMT personnel and also some drivers here to deal with the ambulance.
And it's time now for Let's Talk Socials with Matea Stewart.
You know when a number can mean so much more than just digits. Matea here, and today we celebrate 242 Day, the ultimate digital celebration of the Bahamas. For those who might not know, 242 isn't just an area code. It was introduced in 1996 when the Bahamas split from the original 809 code that covered much of the Caribbean. And here's the cool part. On a phone keypad, 2 equals B, 4 equals H, 2 equals A, basically spelling out BHA for Bahamas. So even our area code carries a piece of island pride. Fast forward to today, and 242 has become more than a number. February 24th is when Bahamians across the islands and around the world flood social media with flags, junk canoe clips, beach shots, childhood throwbacks, and posts that proudly shout 242. From creatives dropping cinematic drone shots over Nassau Harbor, to local brands sharing 242-themed promotions, to simple selfies with the Bahamian flag. 242 Day is a reminder that even something as simple as a phone code can grow into a symbol of identity, community, and pride, a number that connects us even when we're oceans apart. So today, whether you're posting a photo, supporting a local business, or just dropping a 242 in the chat, remember it's more than a hashtag. It's a badge of who we are. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials. Happy 242 Day.
The new today.
Absolutely. It's an excellent Let's Talk Socials. Yes. Thank you so much, Matea. That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking about a breathtaking celestial event, a planetary parade for all you sky watchers out there.
Say that fast 5 times.
Okay.
Stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Did you know that 1/3 of all traffic fatalities occur as a result of excessive speed? Excessive speed impedes a driver's point of perception, which affects braking distance. In the inner city, residential areas, and high pedestrian traffic areas, the speed limit ranges from 15 to 25 miles per hour. On the outskirts of the island, especially where a sign is not posted, the law dictates that the speed limit shall be 30 miles per hour. The maximum speed limit for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is 45 miles per hour. Here are some safety tips for you. Avoid aggressive and distracted driving. Reduce excessive speed and drive at the appropriate speed to suit the current road conditions. Avoid operating a vehicle while impaired by alcohol or drugs. Be vigilant and always maintain good visibility of the road, and be mindful of other road users, such as pedestrians. Leave out in a timely manner to compensate for potential traffic delays. Even one life lost to traffic fatality is one life lost too many. On behalf of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, please slow down.
This public service announcement is brought to you by FG Insurance Agents and Brokers, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
In Harbour Island, North Minnesota, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
Good evening, Bahamas. Tonight we pause for just a moment of reflection to look not only at what's happening around us, but what's happening within us as a nation. Our conversation this evening centers around three critical areas: food security and health and national security, and also that solemn nature of this Lenten season during a time of political movement. We begin with food security and national health. The Bahamas remains heavily dependent on imported food, and it's a challenging global environment. That dependence carries real vulnerability. At the same time, we continue to face growing challenges with chronic diseases, lifestyles related to illness. So tonight, we ask, are we nourishing ourselves in a way that strengthens our nation, or does it weaken? And are we truly prepared if external systems shift? Next, we turn to national security, focusing on immigration and policing. Immigration remains one of the most complex realities facing our country today. Humanitarian, legal, economic, and social. Alongside this is the importance of public confidence in law enforcement and national order. The question tonight is simple. Are we addressing security structurally, or only when pressure rises? And finally, we reflect on the solemn nature of this Lent, a season of discipline, humility, and introspection, unfolding alongside a period of political activity. Can a nation move forward politically while remaining grounded spiritually? Can we advance without losing reflection? I have a special guest that's going to be with me tonight to be able to explore these particular things and really talk about these ideas. We're going to talk about growth and development and finding out whether or not we're prepared. Now, we decided to take this route because it is Lent. And I know a great deal of persons are concerned about that based upon religious and based upon traditional concepts. So we'll explore those things and make a determination within ourselves. We're gonna have a great conversation. I look forward to being able to have that with you. Let's take this quick commercial break, guys. Gonna be right back after this.
Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bing bang ding, ding ding dong.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Coming this fall, Royston Jones and Melina Leonard on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Tune in.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
And we're back. Grateful to have you with us. Tonight, it's important that we have these conversations with you. I know it's going to be a difficult thing, especially during this time. I know a lot of persons are really wrestling with this sort of a concept and idea as to whether or not we move forward and really having these conversations during a Lenten period. And a lot of persons have really detached themselves from the traditional or religious concepts of these particular things. But I wanted to know from you. I wanted to know from you whether or not this is something that bothers you. Tonight I want to talk with you, and I want to introduce a guest. Now he's not with us, so we're just going to wait and be able to identify whether or not he actually has an opportunity to be able to give us this information. I want to be able to be clear about this. I'd like to be able to hear from the church itself about this. So I introduced my guest, and I want to be able to talk about this. With clarity, the truth is this. The fact of the matter is that from the introduced Sunday shopping, I feel like there was a slow, steady slip from the religion and our faith base into a more aggressive environment where commercialism took that kind of a position where religion and faith existed. Now, it doesn't happen for everyone. A lot of persons don't necessarily dive into the same thing. There are groupings in our country that still cling to their religion. They still cling to the concepts and ideas of tradition and the days of old. But the truth is that things have shifted. I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about whether or not you agree with these particular concepts. Now, the idea of this, for me, as an individual during this particular time, especially as we heard what we've heard from our political leaders in this country, the fact of the matter is that this is a difficult time. And with all this shifting and changing, these concepts and ideas that continue to move from one space to another, we must do something about it. There is not, for me, a assured position as to whether or not we move dead on and straight ahead with this particular concept of being able to incorporate religion with our particular positions? Or do we just do away with it and do as we see our neighbors to the north do? Even though now, with the State of the Union this evening, we're going to hear more and more about the creeping in of concepts and ideas that has to do with faith and religion and Christianity. I listened to the newscast today, and they're continuing to talk about that. But the question is this just a token conversation that we're having? Let's talk about this. Is this a token conversation that we're having, or do we find ourselves in the position for growth and development? A significant percentage of the food that we actually have here in this country is imported. And this is the second thing that I want to be able to talk to you about that. Food survival is a very serious thing. Health is our strength, and a nation that cannot be able to feed itself cannot maintain its health as a people, and we become structurally weak. It's important that we understand these things. We have allowed ourselves to be able to be victims of being able to fall for the rhythm of so many political promises about what can happen and what should happen, and it has not happened. We've waited and waited relentlessly, perpetually, for an idea and a proverbial savior to be able to hit the silver clouds and change our environment. That has not happened. We go from generation to generation. We go from year to year, an election cycle to cycle, with this sort of a concept that maybe this political organization will be able to change that. It hasn't happened. With these introductions, the former administration has had a significant conversation about being able to do backyard farming, when the leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, in his particular capacity, held on to the post of Minister for Agriculture. And in that particular capacity, being able to introduce to us this sort of a concept of being able to do backyard farming. Simultaneously, the Minister of Health was being able to say to us, we have to reduce and provide a healthier options for breadbasket items. Did we see any change? Our concern was more about finances. How we can spend this money. How these healthier foods are more expensive. The truth of the matter is that we're going to have to be able to take consideration to these things. I know I can tell you a story about the fact that in our home, things change. My children keep asking me, but Daddy, how you get? So Daddy, how you? And I don't know. But I know. But let's be fair and let's be honest. With the conditioning and the preparation that we would have done over the years, and drinking the Kool-Aid and all these accessible things, we don't even do that in our homes with our kids. Can I be honest with you? If we know better, we do better. That's what it is. Have we as a nation who've grown exponentially with education, access, and global exposure and experience, have we done better? Have we decided to be able to identify these things and done better? Or is this a relentless and a steady wrestle, a tussle between finances and what we know is right? That's how we're living in this country. We must find a way to be able to ensure that there is balance and there is an opportunity for growth and development. Our expectation in this political time, in this season as we move towards a general election, is to be able to hear more of our leadership talk to us about how they see this vision, their vision for growth and development in the country. Now, I've said to you that we understand the tangibles, but the intangibles are something that we have not dealt with as a nation just yet. The tangibles of being able to identify the importance of infrastructure, the tangibles of being able to identify that potholes need to be taken care of, the tangibles of being able to identify that we need to build buildings and create these particular aspects, but the intangibles of how we treat each other, the intangibles of what we consume, the intangibles of understanding the importance of being able to build good character and preparation for the future is void. It's missing. How do we find ourselves back to the space and to the place of being able to do that? How do we find ourselves as a nation back to the position that we could move steadily with growth and development? I want to talk about that. I think we should wrestle these particular things head on. We've been too casual with this sort of a concept and idea. We've been flippant and being able to talk about anything and everything that is just sensational today. I won't be decent with you as I say this, and I want to be able to give you the rundown on these concepts. And lastly, just a synopsis of being able to talk about these things. One of the things that we have tussled with in this country that's a trigger is immigration and policing. Most recently, we would have been able to see a story in the news, the allegations associated with those particular things, and the ministry and the Minister of National Security being able to come out in support of the officer who says that he was picking up something. We would have seen the news story. We would have seen these particular clippings. And it is hell. It is hell. The court of public opinion can be able to ruin you before you get started. And we understand that. But it is important for us to be able to recognize and understand our position. I want to talk to you about that. Talk to you about growth, talk to you about development, talk to you about perception, talk to you about transparency, talk to you about accountability and being able to move with fluidity into the future. Are we as a nation prepared to do what we must? Like I said to you tonight, I'm going to be speaking with none other than my very good friend who always joins me, Ambassador Devin Rowe. He's going to be talking to us about these particular things from a church perspective, the Lenten season, immigration, policing, and others. And I want you to join in with us. I really wish we could be able to do something. Get down there in your comment box and put some things in there. It's time for us to shift this conversation into what really matters. Outside of the sensationalism of what politics brings and the euphoria and the sort of the feeling that is associated with this, let's talk about what matters for changing this country towards growth and development. If you'd allow me, I'll take a quick commercial break, guys, and when we get back, we're going to dive into it right after this.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Grand Bahama, we've helped 486 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $14.4 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Grand Bahama's economy by investing in its leading sectors: food and beverage, tourism, and fishing. Every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC Bahamas.
Coming this fall, Royston Jones and Melina Leonard on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Tune in and get your fill of community news, Family Island news, entertainment, and, well, sometimes slithering animals. That's the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The Dixon Hill Lighthouse on San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant, just being able to talk about these things. I gave you a synopsis and the sort of a concept and idea of the things that we're going to be tackling today. And one of the things that I wanted to tackle more specifically in being able to bring in an arm from the church, an arm from the faith, an arm from the cloth, and being able to talk to us with clarity about where we are is my very good friend, Ambassador Devin Rowe. He's being able to sit here with us. I want to thank him for being able to make it with us tonight. He's a good man. Praise God. How are you this evening, my brother?
By God's grace, I'm doing well, Howard. Good evening, Bahamas. It's good to be back before you tonight.
Well, we've started to talk about these things. You know that we've talked about a few things in sort of the synopsis of being able to talk about national security, talking about the solemn time and the political time that we are in the country, and talking about policing and immigration and that particular perspective, right? And so let's start there. Where do you want to start? I know you got some things that's heavy on your heart that you want to be able to talk about from your faith perspective and being able to hope with expectation of where the country is. Talk to me about it.
Well, when you look at policing and immigration, you tie them together, you're really talking about the national security of your country, which is always very important to prioritize. We see the example being set by America in the North. I think their country is still divided over the approach of the present government in terms of really laying down the law and enforcing the whole notion that their country is for Americans, notwithstanding the notion that America is a fusion of other countries that came together and dwelt on that particular part of the land. However, it's still a country of laws, just as we are here in the Bahamas. This is the, I don't want to say conundrum, but this is the dilemma in terms of countries and the interconnectedness of countries. Because if one country takes seriously the enforcement of their immigration laws, that's going to have an impact on other nations. Because illegal dwellers are going to be sent back to their countries, thus having an impact on the countries that they came from. The Bahamas, and as a student of history, one of the things that, and I defended this when I was in university in UWI in Barbados, I said one of the most gracious countries in the entire region when it comes to immigration has been the Bahamas. And that is for more than 100 years now. We've been welcoming of the entire region.
Is that just because of proximity, or is that because of the nature of who we are as a people?
I think it's a combination. A combination
of proximity. Closest to the United States of America.
Our nature as a people, because and it goes even into slavery. People don't talk about this a lot, but our slavery reality is kind of different from the entire region. Some of the writers talk about the fact that...
I think we're synonymous almost with Jamaica, where we were called good Negroes. There's sort of a concept and idea that we were good in terms of our yielding and our submission.
I think the slave owners were kind of kinder to us too. I don't know if it was the air, the beauty, or whatever it was, but the relationship was not as intense. And Jamaica, on the other hand, if you go to Ghana now, when they do tour guides near to where the slaves left Ghana to head to this region, they would tell you that Jamaica, truthfully, most of this is a rebellion in Jamaica than in the Bahamas. But be that as it may, I think when you talk about the fact that you go back generations, all of us come from somewhere, that demands a sense of kindness, of gentleness, and at the same time, strong enforcement when it comes to the fact that we want to be seen as a country of law-abiding citizens and people. And so we cannot take lightly the notion of people, what's this, spreading in their territory that the Bahamas is a lawless territory and we could go in there, occupy.
But we've already seen that our brothers and sisters right now who are listening to us in Turks and Caicos, my cousins, listening to us in Turks and Caicos, they are giving us first-hand knowledge of what happens when there is a shift. And there is a great influx, not just by Haitians, but there is a great influx of, I think, Filipinos and other persons that are now moving into this particular space, and from the DR that are moving into this space. And I don't think the initial intent was to be able to take over, but this is a gradual thing. And from a gradual standpoint, I thought about this today as we were being able to prepare for this conversation. From a gradual standpoint, we find ourselves in this position. I think that we're being viewed as xenophobic. And
but that narrative, I challenge that narrative. There is some of that there, mind you. But I've always laid the blame of our present conundrum, especially when it comes to the Bahamas and Haiti. I've laid that at the feet of our leaders. Because when you study this whole illegal immigration narrative, something is off. When you go back in history, you see that the Bahamas has always had cordial relationships with Haiti. You look at the name of the school, Stephen Dillard. You look at how we, so Sidney Poitier. You look at the trans.
We can get Paul for Sidney Poitier.
You look at the trade industry that existed between Anagua and Haiti and some of those southern islands, which was flourishing. You go back a few hundred years, not a few hundred, but a few decades back before our independent time. There was great relationships. What has happened that spoiled it? The first, watch this. So the first parliamentarian of the Bahamas, that's black, is actually of Haitian descent. And the first great leader of Haiti in modern day times is actually Bahamian born in Duvalier. So we've had a strong inter-network of relationships, but something has happened with this whole new season where this trade, as it were, and when you use the word trade, it means economics is involved in there somewhere. Somebody's making money from this grandeur.
But I want to push back at that. I want to push back at what you're saying, because the truth is, as I see it, our proximity to the United States of America and United States of America being the proverbial moon, these persons landed on, or being the stars, whatever we want to call it, they've landed in a space where there is contentment, there is an opportunity to exist, there is conversation that going back and forth from their families that you could be able to live. Let's take the mud and pigeon peas for example. None of us knew the magnitude of illegal immigrants or migrants that lived in that particular space. Casually you heard about it. Casually we heard that there was an entire city that lived there until Dorian hit and we saw the deprivation. And many of us take on this kind of a position that there is still unaccounted for a great deal of persons that are gone, but they would never necessarily document it. Let's talk about this sort of an idea. They are going there because they're being fed. Love vine don't grow on dead trees. And the only way that these proverbial persons could be able to take from an environment with clarity, take from an environment, is simply because someone's taking care of them. For the development of our islands, for the cheap labor that's available, for all these particular things, there will be an environment, and then we continue to be able to take care of that. Unless we have the proper policing at our borders, the proper policing with the uniform arm, with Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Royal Bahamas Police Force, and our immigration officers being able to identify, check, and double check, unless we have citizens being able to assist and say, hey, listen, these persons aren't properly documented, we will always have this influx. Go ahead.
Again, so, you know, in today's world, it's very easy to get involved in circular conversations, especially if the conversation starts in the middle as opposed to at the beginning. I think we keep on moving past the point of how did this all begin? What opened, my chair keeps thinking, what opens the door for, well, what opened the door for this consistency of illegal immigration in the Bahamas? That's a scary conversation, you and I, because if we were having it privately, we would have it at a different level. But we know that somebody opened the door for it to happen and for it to continue. Like,
is it somebody, or is it some manipulation of a system to ensure that a grouping or individuals are reimbursed, that they are taken care of, that they are financially fed, that they are the recipients of whatever is coming through these particular things, because the truth of the matter is somebody got to be getting paid for these things.
Okay, so you went where I was about to go this time.
Oh, yes, somebody got to get paid for this.
Let me grab from my political science background. Karl Marx says, any problem you see in the earth, go and examine the economics behind whatever the problem is.
War.
Yeah, and if you...
War is big business.
Big business. Big business.
War is big business.
Bad health.
It's big business.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
not just bad health, illness.
Illness.
It's big business.
Yeah, yeah.
Most recently, we've seen the pandemic. Big business.
Yeah. So.
Whenever you see that there's a significant calamity, behind that is economics that you would not imagine.
Before the pandemic, the world had not a single triple-digit billionaire. Immediately after the pandemic, there's a whole assortment of triple-digit billionaires in the world. How do you become a triple-digit billionaire?
I remember when people were hurting for the first one. Then we just hit $1 billion.
No, not now. Now there are multiples of these guys that are now triple billionaires. There was some kind of economic movement that favored a select few during the pandemic. Karl Marx says, follow the money and you'll find out what the problem is. So I used to crack this joke with some friends a few years ago. I would say, and this especially when our employment rate was very low, I say, isn't it interesting that there's 100% employment in the illegal immigrant population, but our unemployment rates are skyrocketing? Now, there's a whole lot of dynamics to be studied there. It could mean that possibly the immigrants that are coming here, legal and or illegal, are coming because
that's not just
because we don't want to work, perhaps.
That's just not for the Bahamas.
Because we lack the skills, perhaps. Because we're not pushing into the areas where labor is needed. So, I mean, it's a multi-level problem to be addressed.
Well, let's talk about these things. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be able to get right back. Right after these quick commercial breaks, we're sitting with none other than Ambassador Devin Rowe. We're right here talking about the rundown on health. When we get back, we're going to do more after this.
My name is Omar Ferguson. I've been disabled now from 2009. What inspired me to start my own business? It was the determination to know that I still had something left in me, even though a lot of my independence, my mobility was being restricted. In my disability, it's kind of hard finding the investors or the capital. For example, national insurance. The benefit that we receive, it's a lifeline. And at any business that you're going to take, it's going to be a risk. We're not looking for handouts, but we want you to understand that we still need a little special care. This literally gives us a backbone that, hey, we could actually stand someday. This is the business I know it's going to be a risk. Even going through that process, I'm still dependent on national insurance. Overall, being in the program itself has put me in a place where I feel young again. I feel like anything is possible. I would say to others with disabilities, look around your community, just like you guys said in one of the modules. See what is needed in your community and go for it. Don't be afraid, just go for it.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, having a great conversation, just being able to talk about these things. We took, for the very top of the, at the top of the conversation, we took on this sort of an immigration position, right? And being able to identify that and the importance of being able to understand not only food security, but understanding immigration. Now, a lot of persons are in this sort of a capacity and position that they're indifferent. And this is why I enjoy conversations like this, because I think it stirs a great deal of ideas and this sort of a desire to be able to move forward and really be able to assert yourself and to think about the next dispensation of the country. I think for far too long we've been casual with this sort of a concept and idea of how things happen in our country and not being able to be deliberate with our thinking and convicted in our movement. Now, you know where I go with?
Go ahead.
With this kind of a solemn position for Lent.
Right.
Now, I know that every denomination doesn't necessarily identify this, and every denomination doesn't necessarily accept this, or doesn't necessarily adhere to this. But I say that from a political standpoint, a lot of the politicians have taken on this position to be able to speak to the church and to the body of Christ and say to them, during this solemn period of 40 days, we will not do as intense a campaign as you would see with relentless rallies and so forth and so on, but we will be able to be mindful in our approach of doing these things. What are your thoughts about being able to do this?
Well, I think I'm smiling because it is a very sensitive topic, and again,
is it though?
I think it's sensitive because again, it's multi-level.
Because of your capacity?
It's my capacity and the fact that it's multi-layered. So I think it's a beautiful thing that a sovereign nation will deem it important to give reverence to the time of Lent, the 40-day fasting period of Christ, the fact that we're leading up to his crucifixion. That's a big statement that says that a country is observing, watch this, the sovereignty of God and have an abiding respect for Christian principles, right? In recent times, however, this country has evolved greatly in many ways, and the fight over should we not?
I love how we use words in a particular manner. Is it evolution or rebellion?
Well,
what are we talking about?
I believe it's possible for it to be a combination of both, because you have
an evolving rebellion. You know what that is?
You
know what is evolving rebellion?
Go ahead.
Democracy.
True. I find a fault with that.
It's democracy.
I find a fault with that. And so the war is at the level of those who hold to faith and the original foundation of the nation, and those, many of whom have been exposed to different thoughts through their travel, through their schooling, whether their liberal view will dominate over the traditional view which the country is founded upon. Now, it's sensitive in that you know which direction I lean to. I'm of
your
course.
faith, your conviction, your position.
And I want my country to stay on the Lord's side.
Of course.
All right? So, but when you look at rules and laws, I'm not going to demonize anybody who doesn't have the same persuasion or conviction. As a minister, my job is to try to win them. So you campaigning whilst they campaigning? Well, I'm campaigning for their soul. Hey, all right?
Becoming a fisher of man.
So that's where I'm at. Now, a lot of people weaponize sacred things for their own advantages, which has his own devious kind of attachment to it when you don't truly serve the God of the Lent. You really don't otherwise have respect for the God of the Lent, but if it's advantageous to you, you give the facade. I'm not saying our leaders are doing that.
That's also called
I'm not saying our leaders are doing
politics.
That. But I'm saying,
given the perception of something when you don't necessarily adhere to it,
we have to be careful that we're not playing with something that's sacred.
I appreciate that.
So, but my position is, I don't want you to pretend.
Is it sacred?
I don't. Is Lent sacred?
Is it sacred? Now, now, let me take my position.
Go ahead.
When we look at the introduction of Sunday shopping into our society, when we looked at the introduction of a liberal outlook, when we looked at the introduction of gambling in our society, the introduction of carnival, when we looked at these things and the church's position, which has never wavered.
Right.
But the church has yielded that kind of a evolving, that democratic look, and understanding their position, their faith, keeping their doors open, but allowing society to do as thou wilt. We look at this, and I tried to make a determination as to not necessarily the niche, not necessarily the 50%, the 40%, the 30% that are Christians and have an abiding faith for Christ in those particular areas. But I look at the nation in this democratic, evolving time and ask myself whether or not we take any of this serious anymore. We don't take politics serious no more. We don't take murder serious no more. We don't take immigration serious no more. There's nothing that we as a nation that had a significant staple 40 years ago that we really hold steadfast to those particular abiding principles. And so we're shifting.
I do believe that our numbers have dropped somewhat. I don't think it's as low as 30, 40, 50%. What I do believe in terms of the Christian demographic of our country is that we have Christians who are at ease in Zion, as the old folks would say.
At ease in Zion? Okay.
And they're lackadaisical, they're non-confrontational, and they're very casual with their duty to uphold the bloodstained banner of Christ. And there's a scripture that says, evil flourishes when good men remain silent. And we have a lot of people who identify with Christ who are not making their faith or their positions in Christ known when it comes to the affairs of the nation. So much so that a secular society thinks it's okay now to say to the church, you be silent and sit small in your services and don't have anything to say with what's going on
not just secular society. Not just secular society.
Go ahead.
Governments have said to the church, let us be the government and you do the church. There has been, the proverbial veil has been torn. And there's no intermingling and an understanding that you're the church and there should be supremacy and sort of an adherence from a Christian standpoint, being able to identify an advisor, a Christian advisor, identify that there's a body that we can always go to. The acknowledgement of the Christian Council here in the country is good, and the government does everything it does from a traditional standpoint, and just to be able to give the social accolades of this particular capacity. But is there really an advisor in this particular capacity?
I am so, again, and I try not to weaponize it, but my go-to when it comes to this country is the preamble of our Constitution, because it states the intent of the kind of nation our founders sought to create. I don't care what they try to bring up in terms of their new age philosophy or liberal approaches. No, this nation that you're in, it has fathers, and they clearly detailed their intent of the kind of nation they wanted to develop. Secondly, there's a guy, I think, out of America, he's been doing this a lot in the last several years. I think it's Jeffries is his last name. He's been doing a study on the original narrative of separation between state and church. And he says if you go back and study it properly, you will find that the intent was never for church to be outside of the affairs of government. The doctrine was formulated to say to government, hold on, be careful about you stepping in to try to control the affairs of the church, because the church's mandate has been given by God and is very clearly outlined in Scripture. Our duty is to be the salt and the light of the earth. Our duty is to disciple, according to Matthew 28:18-20, to disciple the nations of the earth so that we don't forget from whence and from whom we've come.
It's heavy what you're saying, but because the only thing that I actually was able to identify throughout your discourse is that the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Good intentions, indeed.
The Constitution is wrapped in good intentions.
Yeah.
The expectation that we be able to adhere by these rules, regulations that govern us in these particular, and for the most part, we have persons manipulating, identifying, and seeking to be able to shift around that for the purposes of being able to accommodate in this time. And watch me. And even though that's the constitution of our land, the same mindset is applied to the constitution of the Word of God.
Correct.
The constitution of the Word of God, there are persons that seek to manipulate this, to shift it, and be able to speak in a manner that what God's intention was when He wrote this particular thing.
Correct.
And so we're seeing this kind of a relentless shift in our society. We're listening to language change. We're seeing the commandeering of certain aspects of things that once would mean peace now means an acceptance for a particular society. Let's just talk about this. Let's just talk about the core idea of where we are. And so I go back to my conversation at the top of it. And it's for all of us to be able to have this kind of a conversation. I want to do this. The question I have is whether or not we as a nation are just traditional and being able to hit you with a topical approach that Lent is good. Praise God for Lent. I'm a Christian. I give God praise, honor, and glory, and I continue to be able to adhere to His word, rules, and regulations. I have been to church. I do all these things, but my question is for you, the body of the Bahamian citizens that continue to be able to listen to us as we go deeper and deeper into time and closer for those of us who share the faith that I have into the coming of Christ. Are we acknowledging the shift in our society? And are we yielding ourselves and saying, well, baby, you know, it is what it is? Language that perpetuates in this environment. Language that continues to be able to amplify, well, it is what it is. You know, you got to let that be. Let sleeping dogs lie. And never finding the strength to be able to stand in our convictions. We're shifting. We're shifting relentlessly, and we're allowing so many things to take its place. And that's what this question was for me this evening.
You sound like a town crier. We're shifting, and dangerously so is what I hear. And it causes me to want to say that people ought to realize when it comes to faith, even in nationhood, faith presents us with guardrails and barriers that protect us, not merely limit us. When you see faith and the principles taught in Scripture now as, oh, they're trying to limit us, they're trying to keep something away from us, you're missing the whole principle of it. John 10, Christ says about himself, sent by the Father, that I have come that you may have life and that you may have it more abundantly. I'm not trying to limit you. But one of the things that is so important as we talk about Lent,
it's heavy what you say.
As we talk about Lent, it's important for us to realize that God loathes, He despises people who are lukewarm when it comes to the position of their faith and their relationship with Him. And
you can use it if you're cold. You can use it if you're hot.
If you're cold, He can work with you because He can bring about transformation. Look at Saul who became Paul. If you're hot, He'll use you to blaze a trail for His glory.
But if you're lukewarm,
He don't want to,
indifferent,
He don't want nothing to do with you.
You're going to church on Sunday. And drinking Sunday evening. Talk to me.
Here's the powerful thing, and I keep making
Nobody want to talk back this time.
I keep making, no, they don't.
What you talking about? We in Lent, I didn't put the Bacardi down. Leave me alone. I'm not going to fight you.
I keep making this reference because people, when they hear this kind of conversation, like, what are they going on with? However, when you look in the nations to the east who have sworn their allegiance to other faiths, for example, Muslim nations, Buddhist nations, they do not hide their faith from any aspect of their lives.
None.
So it is the Christian, and even if you listen, I've heard some clips by Putin in Russia and other nations who look at the West and how sloppy we are in our faith, they're laughing at us. You call yourselves followers of Christ, and this is what your nation is about. So there's even an expectation of those who don't believe like we believe that we're supposed to at least be trying to live this life that we say we believe.
But that's not what we hear from our political standpoint. From our political standpoint, we hear politicians who are globetrotters and responsibility for being able to go out among the world come back to us with information that says the world is changing. And it's important for us to be able to align ourselves with global views, with a global shift, with a global change.
And any of our politicians who are of that persuasion, they have bought the lie. And the lie is...
Well, they're selling it to us.
They may be. But here's what the lie is. The lie is a true connection to faith and Christian principles cannot bring you rewards, economics, or meet needs. That's a lie, because if that's true, then the Bible is wrong. Luke, I think it's 6:24 says, no man can serve two masters.
Either you love the one?
He must love the one and hate the other. You can't do the in-between thing. If you do the in-between thing and it's calling yourself religious, you won't get the benefits.
Yeah.
But if you hold to God, Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all your needs shall be added. Either it's true or it's not true. But don't play with it.
We ain't got the time to test it.
No.
We won't go. See, that life and life more abundantly, I came that you might have life and life more abundantly is a strong thing.
Yeah.
Because only for those of us in our faith that we have an understanding.
Right.
And that understanding is that it's not here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that life and the acquisition of stuff here. Mm-hmm. We have our treasures laid up in heaven. Mm-hmm. Our treasures are beyond the threshold of eternity.
Right.
And we step in beyond the threshold of life and stepping into eternity. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't understand life and life more abundantly, you believe that, okay, well, this is for acquisition, this or this stuff now. Yeah. But you don't have an understanding that you have to align yourselves to be able to get to a greater place and a greater position. Mm-hmm. So I want to be able to say that to you, and I want to be able to talk to you like this as we wrap up this particular conversation.
Maybe,
I know you didn't want to talk about Lent.
I
know you didn't want to talk about Lent.
Hey, to look from a positive perspective, maybe our successive governments have been saying for Lent, we give up political campaigning. And if that is their position, no, they should probably say it like that way.
No.
I mean, because
they didn't make that decision. They were good Catholics. They were good Anglicans. They abide to these particular things.
Why are you trying to shoot down my positive point?
No, that's a good point. It's a good point. You're trying to make these men. I accept what you're saying.
All right.
But the men of old had conviction. They had an allegiance, they had an understanding, and they had immediate relationships with an older generation who required them to be able to live to the standard that they set. And there was an allegiance to that particular generation that says, well, you know, this is what we do. Boom.
You was going to be in problems with Mama if you didn't.
I don't care if you were 60.
Yep.
I don't care how old you were. You did not go against the rules, regulations, and the principles that govern your home. Whether that means you went off to school, whether that means you went off to work, whether that means you were married and in your own house, there is an expectation that you perform way that you train up a child.
Yeah, and the way you should go.
Okay, so talk to me.
No, I agree.
And when you were trained up in this particular manner, so now this conversation shifts to something different.
Yes, it does.
For us to be able to have this conversation as to whether or not we acknowledge Lent or not, we now have to ask whether or not we were trained properly. Were we trained up properly?
Are our homes any longer spiritual? That's the question. That's
heavy.
I love where you went this down. Because the pressure of what home taught and upheld impacted you even if you were sitting in the House of Assembly.
No matter where you were.
No matter where you were. So now we look to the state of our homes. And you know that's a long conversation.
It's a deeper conversation.
Because much has changed.
Well, during this particular Lent season, I want to be able to have further conversations with you and really be able to identify that and be able to talk about these things. Sure. I think during this time we could take a solemn course. I want to do something as it relates to being able to speak with our politicians. I've invited a few of them to come and sit with us and have sort of a solemn conversations, and that conversations will be able to be wrapped around their vision, their conviction, their faith. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. Now, you could identify that as campaigning if you don't want, that's not your business. Yeah. But how I see it is being able to dig past the superficial, dig past that sort of bravado that exists on the surface and dig to the core of these individuals and find out who they really are in the constituency.
You don't need my endorsement, but I give it. I endorse that.
I into that. That's what I into.
You let Lent be a time for us to examine or to hear more of the faith of our politicians.
That's what I want to do.
I endorse that.
I want to do that. I think it's important for us to be able to do that. And this, for me, this conversation here for me was sort of an introduction to be able to identify whether or not we as a nation have been able to acknowledge. See, there is an expectation from the older generation to say, as we look at Michael Pintard, as we look at Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, and being able to do that, even their language has shifted. Michael Pintard, in this particular capacity as leader of the Free National Movement, has indicated that we will do so respectfully. We will, I mean, I don't understand.
How's the feedback to that been?
There hasn't been significant. There hasn't been any pushback socially.
Right.
There is an acceptance of that.
Okay.
At least he's acknowledged with transparency what his intentions are, and he knows that his time is short.
Right.
And he has to be able to hit the ground. We accept that, and we understand those particular things. But 30 years ago, that would have never come out of his mouth. 30 years ago, it may not even been a consideration for a political season, you know, politics during a particular time, because the church still had a significant foothold in the government. But 30 years ago, we would have seen a gradual shift. At least they could have pushed back and say, no Sunday shopping. And then with time, economics,
that would be
capital management, everything took over.
Would that not be an interesting sacrifice for Lent?
What, Sunday shopping?
Yeah, for Lent.
How these people can eat? They need to go to the restaurant. These people don't cook no more. They be coming over by you to eat.
let me say, this is just, I'm just throwing it out there. Don't come after me. Yeah, but it would be interesting. But I mean, again, let me put on my spiritual cap. I believe whatever you sacrifice for the sake of righteousness, there will be a reward in return. That's Bible. Again, seek the kingdom as righteousness. I'm going to take care of you. Whatever you give for God, the Bible says God is not a debtor to man, which means if you sacrifice something for the sake of God or righteousness, he says, I will give you back 100-fold in this life and the next. Either we believe the word or we don't.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being able to tune in with us tonight. That was your hour. That was the rundown, being able to talk to you about that. I really wanted to put this on the table for you for consideration and to find out whether or not you are adherents to it. Are you one of the persons that actually agree with these particular things or not? I want to thank you so much, my brother, for being able to sit with us.
Oh, always a pleasure.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, that does it for us here at The Rundown. Be sure to stay locked in right here at ZNS Network for the Bahamas Tonight at 11 p.m. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest news and information with Colville Piper. And from all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant, and thanks so much for joining.
Amen.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas. When it comes to hardware or home improvement items, we guarantee the lowest prices. That's our price match guarantee. If you find anything we sell for a lower price anywhere in the Bahamas, let us know about it. We will beat that price. We want your business. Shop at CBS Bahamas or cbsbahamas.com.
Well, what about me? What about you? What? Well, I thirsty too, you know. You want to see all the water out there? Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water? You crazy, eh? I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know. Ain't nobody can drink salt water. Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
And welcome to this episode of DIR Let's Talk Sense. I'm your host, Beaumont Todd, from the Department of Inland Revenue's Training and Communications Department. Today we have two wonderful guests for you, where we're going to be talking with Ms. Indira Wright from the Department of Inland Revenue's First Home Exemption, and Mr. Worrell from BASFA, which is the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority. Ms.